Yeah, before you watch this, I suggest going and watching that video specifically. Let's look at a few things here. I ain't gonna read all this shit out loud. You motherfuckers can read. If you want, feel free to pause it. Whenever I'm done with the live, you can always go back over it, pause the shit, do your thing. But just for context sakes, I am gonna put a few things in here that would require you to pause and read if you haven't already seen them. What a fucking pussy. What a fucking pussy. A conversation I'm having with my guy, T Sizzle. Shout out to him. I'm not gonna click that as a conversation he was having with other niggas, but bottom line is they was being bitches. I'm just gonna say it straight up. He was being soft as fuck. Now I'm gonna play y'all some shit. Hopefully this shit, the sound comes out clear.
He wasn't anti-natalist, he was pro-mortalist. He wasn't anti-natalist, he was pro-mortalist. Anti-natalism is a very small mindset for children. I wish people would stop having babies. It'll never happen. Pro-mortalist is, I want all things everywhere to die. That's a different mindset. Anti-natalist is for children. Pro-mortalist is for adults. Pro-mortalist is for realists, people who realize what actually needs to occur in order for the shit to happen, which means people need to die on mass scale across the universe. Promortalism is the end of all suffering in reality, meaning all life, especially sentient and sapient life, most specifically anything that's conscious, needs to cease to exist. It's a philosophy of action, not bullshit talking. A lot of these philosophies are just philosophies. They're just people talking shit, crying, whining, and complaining every fucking day about something they never plan to even attempt to do anything about. Like, that's not what Guy was. Guy was a promortalist. He's not just the type to sit around crying and complaining and whining about shit. You get the difference? There's a big difference. Did he type that first one? What first one? Yes, he typed that. That was his written manifesto, and in that the download is his audio manifesto, which I uploaded to my YouTube as Guy Edward Barkus Manifesto. So if people don't want to download it, they can go to my channel, go to my live, and listen to it. IVF Clinic, that seems to have already been explained to you. Said it's someone else. No, that was Guy. According to Guy, that was Guy. He explained his reasons for doing what he was doing. But your boys sound soft, bro. Your friends sound real soft. I would never wish harm on any of them. Well, they wished harm on you. They brought your ass here. And they're going to keep bringing people here, even through in vitro and other crazy shit. And unless motherfuckers never want some shit to change, then motherfuckers can remain philosophers forever. Like, just talk shit and cry forever. Good luck with that. You know, it's like, if Guy just drove into the IVF clinic, he'd have killed all the embryos. That's how close he was to killing all those embryos. People look at shit wrong. You're supposed to learn the lesson. Alright, he blew up the thing. He got the point across more than any of y'all ever have, more than any of us ever have, period. More people are talking about promortalism now because of what he did than at any other time in human history. Period. Point blank, plain and simple. That dude Emendham, the dude who...
Hold on, I'm pausing it real quick. If y'all can hear what's being said in there and it sounds decent, you don't gotta say shit. But if it sounds terrible, like, if you can't hear what's being said, let me know. Because I see like 4 or 5 of y'all in here, so let me know.
He mentioned in his manifesto got more people on his channel than he ever has before. Like, he was successful in getting the message out there, getting the thought process out there, and there's a lot of people talking about it right now. I know, I'm in some of the conversations. A lot of people who wouldn't even talk about it before are talking about it because somebody finally did something. Like, most motherfuckers won't do shit. Everybody's a pussy today. Like, everybody's a bitch and doesn't realize that. Like, warfare is necessary for all things. Like, motherfuckers think they're just gonna cry and complain and things will change for the better. Yeah, okay. Never happened in human history, never will happen in history, period. So, your boys, soft. Too damn soft. Real talk. Too fucking soft. This is why I don't fuck with antinatalists, because antinatalists are mostly pussies. They're just crybaby bitches who want to cry about their parents having them, and don't ever want to do anything about anything but cry. Like, that's just the truth. If shit shows up at their door tomorrow, they'll fold. They'll put the cuffs on, they'll go, like, they're not about shit. Real talk. They're just gonna go to work, be slaves every fucking day, and cry about it for their entire lives, and then die. Like pussies. They'll never lift a finger to enforce their own will. They will just constantly have will enforced upon them all day, every day, until the day that they fucking die. Guy went and enforced his will. Period. He had more balls than anybody else in this community. Was he fully successful? Yeah. Getting his point across and all that? Yep. Did he kill the embryos? No. It would have been nice if he did. If he had drove into the building, that would have been better. But guess what? The next person knows that. The next person willing to do something like that now sees that, if he had just drove fucking right up to the door, he didn't even have to go into the building. If he just drove up to the door, he'd have destroyed the whole building. Should have drove up closer. But Guy wasn't some professional suicide bomber, bro. He's just a dude who did a thing. Like, real talk. And I want to know who helped him build the bomb, because I doubt it was Guy. Unless Guy had some specific skills, I'm going with automatically off rip, without even having the actual definitive evidence or anything. Like, I have no official reason to say this, but I'm willing to bet when it all comes said and done, the FBI contacted him undercover and they provided the bomb. I bet any fucking money. So they could then, try to crack down on the community, which is what they do. They're going to crack down on you anyway. Like, when he said, like, if they want to crack down on a community, they're going to do it. They're going to find every fucking reason to, including using some members of that own community to do some terrorist attacks. So you might as well run with it. Don't run away from it. Yes. Yep, that was one of ours. He did what he did. And we're going to do more. Yep, with or without the FBI's assistance. Because I'm willing to bet any money that he was assisted by undercover FBI. I'm willing to bet, because most people can't build bombs, let alone a bomb that fucking big. Now, maybe Guy was something different. I don't know. I don't know his history. I don't know if he was in the military. I don't know. But I'm willing to bet he was given some assistance. So, it's that time. Like, niggas need to stop being pussies. It's that war is here. We're already in it. Like, pick a side. That's where we're at right now. It's time for motherfuckers to pick a side. Period, point blank, plain and simple. There is no middle ground, unless niggas just want to be pussies forever. Like, I'd really check the friends group you got. Like, because your friends, from what I'm reading, are pussies, bro. Like, they sound real soft, real weak-willed, no backbone, afraid of everything, probably scared of the fucking government, scared of the police, etc., etc., etc. motherfuckers really want humanity to go extinct, if they want humans to stop having babies, they have to actually do something that's going to lead in that direction, even if it's a small something. No individual being is going to do the thing that successfully does all. No. It starts with individuals bombing IVF clinics and things along these lines. You're watching these salvos in a war and not recognizing it. It's not just some crazy guy. We, me and those like us, agree with him. And we're pushing for more. Globally. It's not even just Americans either. This shit is global. We're at war. We've been at war. They've been at war with us for the longest time. It's about time we start going back to war against them. Or be bitches and cry about it forever. Like, those are the only two options. Bitch and moan forever and never fucking change a fucking thing. Or change everything. Period. There's no third option. Before anybody decides to make their opinions, make sure they actually listen to what he said. Make sure they actually read the fucking manifesto. It's available. It's no longer online, but it's right in the fucking RNA fucking Discord, right in the Promortalism channel, because I put it there myself. It's on my own fucking YouTube, in my posts, and in the 2 live streams that I just did. It's right there. Like, they can go watch it, read it, listen to it, etc., and then make a real opinion on it, as opposed to just some guy blows up IVF clinic today, and then they just start spouting opinions without even fucking understanding why he actually did it. Like, and most people are pussies, so their opinion is automatically going to align with the mainstream. Everyone's going to normie like normies do. Like, people who think they're not normies are still fucking normies. If your opinion lines up with all the fucking normies, you're probably a normie. Whether you want to admit that or not, or realize it or not, it's just a fucking fact. If your opinion is that of the normies, you are that of the normie. Like, that is what makes you a normie. Like, so folks should really actually go look at what he said and why he did what he did before they just start making opinions on it. Especially if they claim to be antinatalist, ethicist, promortalist, or anything of the like. Because a lot of them are being hypocrites, and a lot of them are being fucking pussies. Bitches to the fullest extent. Anytime somebody actually does something in line with the philosophy, they're pussies. These people live their entire lives out of line with their own philosophies. And then when somebody actually lives in line and dies in line with that philosophy, they bitch up, start distancing themselves, separating themselves like bitches. Don't be bitches. Don't be bitches.
All right, we'll come back to this conversation because it went elsewhere. So get out of there, come into the RNA, Promortalism, trying to look through this phone to tap that phone. Might as well start at the top. And then we'll go back to that conversation with the young T Sizzle. Shout out to the God. No hate, it's all love. But I'm just showing y'all the conversations. So y'all see how this goes. Some of the same shit, some of the same shit. Normies are gonna norm. They even made Asmongold talk about promortalism. Think about it. Think about it. Did any of y'all ever get Asmongold to talk about anything? Any of y'all ever get any major streamers to talk about anything? No. And it doesn't matter if they're agreeing or disagreeing. The fact that they're talking about it is the point. Because if you go to that comment section right now, there's people arguing for it, including myself. So it is what it is. You can't start a fire without a spark, my nigga. It is what it is. Motherfuckers always want to act like there's one big easy button to get everything done. No, motherfucker. You have to press a lot of hard buttons to accomplish the goal. Again, the manifesto, etc. His 30-minute audio manifesto. If you haven't heard that, go listen to that before you even listen to this, because it should already be in there. The Eponymous Manifesto is a good manifesto. I don't fuck with everything in it, but it's a good manifesto. Like, they ain't wrong. They're just a bit soft, in my opinion. Like, with all the vegan shit, I'm like, bro, if you want to kill all the animals, it doesn't matter if you're vegan or not. You want to kill all the animals. Like, you know, so like, if you want to keep all the animals, well, that's one thing. Now here we go, first recording. Let's put you right here.
This is what I was trying to get across to everybody over in Bliss's server. All those exiters, all the people who want to die and kill themselves and things along these lines. And I'm like, yo, that's the example to follow. If you really want to die, you can figure it out. This guy figured it the fuck out, right? And he made a message at the same time. And the message was clear. He's a promortalist, right? He didn't agree to be here. He didn't agree to be born, right? So he went to an IVF clinic where they impregnate people, in many cases, who aren't supposed to even, like males who cannot impregnate a woman. Them and their woman or wife or whoever it is will go there so she can be impregnated. Or a woman with no man, so nobody to impregnate her, will go there and get impregnated. People who aren't even supposed to be pregnant go there to get pregnant. With children who aren't even like, you know what I'm saying? Like they're just semen in a fucking jar or whatever the fuck until they're impregnated into the fucking woman. So he's making a statement when he goes and blows up a place like that while taking his own life. You guys are like, that's what I was trying to get across to the people with the mass exit. People say, oh, why should, and he even recorded it. He got the audio recording right there. I wish there was a video recording of it. But he did enough. He made the news and shit, you get what I'm saying? So I wish all the people who say they just want to kill themselves and get out of here would fucking follow that lead. And not everybody can build a bomb. But every country in the world has illegal guns. Every country on the planet has illegal guns. Like, you can get a gun if you really want to and go shoot some shit up if you really want to. There's gangs everywhere. There's criminals everywhere. Like, this is why when people say, oh, I can't get one, I'm like, you're not trying. I didn't know who to get one from until I started asking the fuck around. Like, literally, the most criminal people I knew, I asked. Until one of them was like, yeah, I know a guy. Actually, a few of them was like, yeah, I know a guy. And then I picked one that I trusted. And he got his guy to, you know what I'm saying? Like, anyone, anywhere can find any way to make such a statement through violence. Walk into any place that would make a statement for your agenda and get to work. Especially if it's an agenda like that. Now me, I want to end all things. I want to forge thousands of these. That's what I want to do. I want there to be a nice sized fire before I add my fucking fuel to it. I want to be a walking gasoline tank. I want to find every spark I can find. I want to keep the ones that can create bigger fires later, and then the ones who can't, or who really just want to die right now, then I want to try to talk them into going and at least being a spark. Those who have the potential to create big fires later, I want to keep around for as long as possible until the time really comes to create the biggest of fires. But up to that point, I want to find the lesser sparks, the smaller sparks, and have them do shit like this. You get what I'm saying? So I absolutely love this story. I love Guy Edward Barkis. All hail his name. This is the example the so-called exiters should be following. This is what I was trying to get Bliss and everybody else, who's, you know, let's say even Josh, Mark, anyone who speaks on the exit or mass exit or anything. This is what I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying? Get the messengers to preach. Preach this. Y'all want to make some real noise, set some real fires on this level of reality and beyond? Because if you want to go fight the Archons, don't forget, they feed here. This is their farm. Burn it to the ground. You get what I'm saying? If you burn an army's wheat fields, they have no bread. Burn this place to the ground, and the Archons can't feed. If they rely on births of people, kill the people and stop the births. Promote that as much as possible and support it when it happens. Don't run from it. Because a lot of motherfuckers are going to be pussies and run from it. They cry about this reality. They cry about being born against their will and Archons feeding on them or aliens or mantids or whatever the fuck they say it is. They cry about the situation, the simulation, the slavery, etc., etc. And then when something like this happens, motherfuckers like to back away. Wash their hands of, I don't support the violence. Then you don't support your own thought process. You're anti-yourself. If you want to see this reality cease to exist on any level, and yet you're against someone destroying anything, especially something directly related to that, like birthing, then you're against yourself. You're anti your own message. So I hope motherfuckers stand strong on this one. I really do. Promote the fuck out of this. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think I might go make me a live stream. If I can. Jam, I tried to live stream a few days ago and it wouldn't work. I gotta find a spot in this location where I can connect properly and maintain connection. I think I'm gonna try that tonight. Just so I can go give Guy Edward Barkis some support verbally on the interwebs. So anybody who is promortalist, antinatalist, ethicist, anti-cosmic, anarchist, any of this shit should be supporting this shit, period. Point blank, plain and simple. All hail Guy Edward Barkis.
All right. Let's see what was next. Again, the manifesto. What did I say here?
So I recorded the 30-minute downloadable recording that Guy Barkis had on his manifesto, just in case people were afraid to download it. So I recorded it live on my YouTube. I don't know how it sounds. I have yet to listen to it. I just finished recording it, but I figured I'd share it for anyone who wants to hear it without downloading it.
All right. How was that? Now let's see. Scroll. This pussy. Now what did I say about this vagina? So, I'm guessing I said something about him.
I fucking knew this would be the case. People are such fucking pussies, bro. They talk all this shit all day fucking long. And then when somebody actually does something, the first thing they try to do is wash their hands of it. Like, oh, I didn't have anything to do with it. What a pussy, bro. What a pussy. Pure philosophers are pussy. If you want to talk ephilism, antinatalism, especially promortalism, the death of all things, the death of all life, and when someone does anything, like actually taking an action in that direction to get the message out there, the first thing you do is distance yourself from him. When he gave you props and drove people to your channel so they can hear your message, you're a fucking pussy. Period. Period. This man should kill himself today.
All right. Fuck him and him. That's what we said there. Let's see what else here. What else we got here? Fuck him and him. He's a pussy. Lesson for copycats. Drive into the building. Facts. If the nigga just drove into the building, he might have actually killed the fucking embryos that were in the building, but they were all in the back of the building. Shit, he parked on the wrong side of the building. He should have did a little more homework, but those are lessons for copycats. Listen close to the question at 2055. Did they know and let it happen? Sounds like it. When they asked that FBI agent dude the question, uh, we had, what was it? The lady, I forget. She was part of some news organization that is local to the area. And she was like, we had a news team down in this area yesterday, and they said that there was already an FBI team here, right in this area. Can you give any comment to whether they knew of any threats coming? No comment. And that's when they ended the interview. That's when they said, all right, we're done, folks, and walked them off stage. So, did they provide any assistance? I would think so, but can I prove that? Nope. Complete conjecture. What a hypocrite talking about Amendham. This guy is disgusting. Talking about Amendham. Pussy ass Amendham. Cloud Atlas, The Truth of Exaltation. Go watch that. If you ain't seen that movie, go watch that fucking movie. Pro-life fucker, they don't see this planet as a human factory. What Manham did discredits the cause. Facts. If you yourself are claiming antinatalist, ethicist, pro-mortalist, or any of those things, and then somebody goes and does what Guy does, and then you fucking disown him, especially when he gives you a shout out and drives people to your channel so they can see your information, you're a fucking pussy. And you just discredited your entire fucking movement. You discredited your entire philosophy. Because now the fucking normies who are going to show up, they're going to be like, look, even this guy is saying the guy's crazy. Ha 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 ha. Like, all you're doing is fucking up. Don't drop the ball. When somebody actually takes action on the philosophy that you yourself preach on a daily fucking basis, hail them. Do not disown them like a fucking pussy. Hail Edward Barkus. I don't think he knows his first name is not Edward, but close enough. Hail Guy Edward Barkus. Menham professes a very clear philosophy, then backtracks, insulting and dishonoring someone who's dead and can't defend himself anymore. This guy needs to be eliminated. Net facts. What a pussy. 100% agreed. I cannot stand such people. The same goes with occultists, 2A enthusiasts, etc. It's all fucking talk. And then one day they are challenged by authorities and they go find a small little corner to confess their sins on camera. They need to quit being bitches. Go find the balls, if there ever were any, they dropped along the way and get to working on following up, doubling down, being effective at what they preach. Precisely. Found this guy talking about a mentam. I found this guy through other channels. Then after some time, I searched and came to know this guy in his old age and still here and talking random world events BS. I thought to myself, damn, this guy can't be real. And he proved it. In one of his older videos, he said, if I had the choice to press a red button and destroy this world, I would. How destruction is going to happen then? See, and that's the problem with a lot of these so-called antinatalists and primordialists. They're all pussies. They'll say anything that is not real. Well, if I had a big red button, I'll blow up the world. Of course you would, stupid. I mean, I don't think you actually would, because you won't press a little red button. And when somebody presses a little red button, like Guy did the other day, he pressed a smaller red button that destroyed a smaller portion of the world. And what'd you do? You ran away from it. Amendham ran away from it. But he'll push a red button that's going to kill everything. So he's against killing. And first off, Guy didn't even kill anyone. He injured 4 people and killed himself. So he's against him injuring 4 people, killing himself, and blowing up the face of a building without even destroying any embryos. But he would blow up the entire world and kill everything on it? Sure he would. Sure he would. See, motherfuckers like to bullshit like that because it gives them an excuse to be cowards. It gives them an excuse to disown anyone who does anything. Because if they would only press the button if it blows up the entire world, that means they won't ever press a button. It means they'll never lift a finger to actually take action for the philosophy that they themselves espouse to every single fucking day on their YouTube channels. They're pussies. Philosophers are pussies. They talk a big game, they'll never do it, and they won't even support the people who will. It's not a problem if you won't do it. Not everybody's a fucking shooter or a bomber, bro. But when you finally get one who is, and he's willing to take your philosophy serious enough to take action based on it, you should support the motherfucker, not talk shit to him. Pussies. I listened to his manifesto. That was solid, well thought out, effective reasoning. Absolutely 100% agree with the sentiments. While I do have certain beliefs in the spiritual, any form of not knowing the why to you coming here is a breach of legalese, a contract that never was. Anything that wants to enforce a being into such a position, fuck them. Exactly. All right, let's check some of this out. So Sizzle said something similar about a big red button in that video he made, and this was my response to him. If there was a big red button to blow the planet up, you would do that, because that's what he said he would do. Well, Guy pressed the big red button. It's not as big as the big red button you said you would press, but it's still a big red button. The only difference is the scale. If you're saying that you would blow up the planet with a bomb, you can't talk down to him about blowing up a singular building with a bomb. Like, duh. It's the same exact action, just on a different scale. As a matter of fact, based on the action taken, you would be considered worse since you're taking more life. The only life he took was his own. Facts. So if you are not a big fan of the violence, but you would be willing to blow up the whole planet, and he only blew up one building and only killed himself, you're being a hypocrite when you say that you would push the big red button, but that he shouldn't have pushed the smaller red button he pushed. You can't say it's only morally acceptable when the button is big enough to destroy the world, because there is no such button. You have to push a bunch of little buttons that in the end amount to one big red button. That's a fact. That's realism. That's promortalism. You're living in la la land and just making excuses for not pushing smaller buttons, because you know for a fact there will never be one big red button to blow up the entire world. So it allows you to have a certain philosophy, but behave in a completely opposite manner than that philosophy says to behave. It allows people to call themselves antinatalists and promortalists, but never actually do anything to support their own philosophy. It allows people to just walk around speaking as hypocrites anytime somebody does actually do something in alignment with the philosophy. Don't be a hypocrite. Read the words exactly and went to war. Y'all can read that next part if y'all want. Pause it, whatever you want to do. And of course, if they stay up, these are under his video, so you can go read them, etc., etc. It's up to y'all. Is that the same one?
Are you in the kitchen?
I am in the kitchen. I love you too. I'd come kiss you, but I'm live. Let's see. Yeah, y'all could feel free to. They're making us look bad. Nigga, you make yourself look bad, pussy. Alright, that's that. I'm gonna let y'all listen to this 3-minute recording while I go kiss my lady.
Folks always want to make this weird big red button argument as if that's the only time it's morally okay to kill things. Like, oh, it's morally okay to kill things if you're killing a lot of them. But if you're only going to kill 5, it's not morally okay. It's like, bro, either the killing that you're doing is morally okay, or it's not, based upon your morality, based on your philosophy. If you believe that it is wrong for humans to bring other humans into existence, and that they should not be doing that, and that every time they do that, they are taking part in the largest crime they possibly could be taking in, especially since they thought about it. It wasn't an accident. We're talking about in vitro fertilization. We're not talking about 2 horny people who fucked, a pregnancy happened, it was too late to get the abortion. We're talking people who sat down, thought about the world that they were bringing the child into, thought about their economic situation, etc., then decided to do it, and then went to get a scientific technological process in order to have these children, because they cannot have them in any other fashion. They're going completely outside of the natural. If people think that, like antinatalists and whatnot think that the natural birth cycle is so fucking evil, and yet they will make an argument against this antinatalist, pro-mortalist guy, named Guy, who blew up an IVF building, didn't kill anyone but himself, like, for going to war against a system, a specific science and technology specifically designed to bring children here outside of the natural cycle, which they already say is evil enough. These antinatalists are fucking retarded. They're all crybaby bitches. Like, the moment anyone does anything that actually promotes and supports their own philosophy, they start bitching up and trying to run to big red button philosophy, which just shows how much of a hypocrite they actually are, because if you would be willing to blow up the entire world and kill everything on it, there's no reason you shouldn't be willing to blow up a single building. Period. Like, and if you wouldn't blow up a single building for your philosophical reasonings, you would not blow up the entire world. People love to say that shit, but the truth is, no, they wouldn't. Period. If you can't, it's like, I'm going to go to war with the Archons when I leave here. Go shoot a cop. I can't do that. Then you're not going to fucking kill an Archon. Like, it's just scale. It's the same exact thing, just two different scales. Blowing up the world because you're a fucking antinatalist versus blowing up an IVF building because you're a fucking antinatalist are the same exact thing, just on a completely different scale. Like, I can't stand when people try to make those dumb fucking arguments. They don't understand their own philosophy enough to realize that they're being a hypocrite when they do so. Oh, man. I know Sizzle's back in here. I need to add him to Promortalist. I don't know if he stepped in this channel or not, but he needs to come in this channel because he needs to understand that he's being a hypocrite when he says such things.
So as you can see, I tagged my mans, the young man. Let's see what we had to say. And again, shout out to Sizzle. It's all love. He's young. He's like 22, 23, something like that. He's got a lot to learn. And gladly, he hasn't made some mistakes that I made by the time I was his age. By the time I was 19, I already had a kid. I had already fucked up before I knew what antinatalism even was. So luckily, these kids growing up now have the internet to the point where they know these things as late teenagers. Like right now, my kid knows this type of shit, and he's, what, 17 now? So they're able to know this stuff younger and younger because they have access to the information, thankfully. My generation did not. Everyone I fucking know had a kid as a teenager. Literally, almost everyone I know didn't make it to 20 before having a kid just because they was fucking. Not because they planned it out or because they wanted fucking children. Most of them didn't want any kids, but they wanted to fuck. Why? Human bodies. It's what the fuck we do. Motherfuckers didn't learn about antinatalism, promortal, none of that shit until damn near 30 fucking years old. Luckily, if you're in your 20s now, you have access to the internet earlier, so you won't make the same fucking mistakes. And that's why I'm here preaching this type of shit, even though I made the mistake myself. I don't hide from it, I don't run from it. It's reality. It is what it is. So here we are.
It doesn't matter if the big red button blows up one building, one person, or the entire world, or the whole universe. The point is, you are taking action, murderous action, destructive action, based upon your philosophy. The only difference is the scale of destruction you are actually causing to occur with your action. So if the red button is smaller, but still does the same thing just on a smaller scale, it's no different than doing it on a bigger scale. If you blow up one city because you're an antinatalist versus blowing up one state, one country, one continent, one world, one solar system, one galaxy, one universe, one microverse, one macroverse, one omniverse, all of existence, God itself, you're just talking scale. That's the only difference. There's no difference in the morality. The philosophy remains the same. The morality based upon the philosophy remains the same. The only difference is the scale of destruction you're committing to based on how big your red button is. Guy doesn't have a big red button to blow up the whole fucking world. He had a smaller red button big enough to blow up a building, so he made a decision on which building he was going to blow up. And that building was an IVF building, which is directly related to the philosophy of antinatalism and promortalism. Directly related to it. As a matter of fact, there's nothing more related to that in this world other than maybe cloning. Like, that's like as bad as it gets. And then there's in vitro, and test tube babies and things like that. The most unnatural way of birth. And then there's natural birth. So if natural birth is already evil enough, then in vitro or cloning or anything that brings babies in an unnatural form is even worse. And he did that without killing anyone but himself. He didn't go to war with natalists. Like, he didn't go to war with people. Like, he didn't just go to some daycare and blow up a bunch of children, or go to some fucking Lamaze class and kill a bunch of pregnant women. He went to a fucking IVF place where they have embryos in cold storage designed to unnaturally be birthed. And he blew that up. And he fucking failed to kill the embryos, which sucks. I wish he drove into the fucking building. He would have at least got that job done. But in doing so, he did cause the largest discussion on promortalism and antinatalism this planet has ever seen. Nothing, I repeat, nothing in human history has caused the size of conversation that is international in scope about antinatalism or promortalism. Period. This is literally the most successful act of antinatalism or promortalism that any human has ever committed in all of recorded history. If anyone can point to anything that anyone else did that made more people around the world at the same exact time talk about antinatalism and promortalism, whether they're agreeing or disagreeing, doesn't matter. It's the point of getting it out there. If people don't even know it exists, they don't even have time to change their minds on it. I bet you most people who are antinatalists or promortalists started off as not antinatalists and not promortalists. Even
I didn't start off as antinatalist or promortalist. I was almost 30 years old when I reached that conclusion. Almost 30. So I'm telling you right now, it needs to get out there far enough for people to find it. Because me, I went searching for philosophies, and that's how I found it. Most people don't fucking read. They're not searching philosophy. They're not reading philosophy on their fucking own. That's a fucking fact. We all know that. They're watching football on Sunday. So in order to put it in their purview, something has to occur that makes it a common enough talking point among society for them to simply stumble upon it. Luckily, we have the internet today, so that's much easier. So when he does that, he creates the largest discussion that has ever occurred on the subject. Facts. These are facts.
they knew they didn't want to have kids, they probably didn't have the philosophy in their head until they got on the internet and saw it was an actual philosophy. That's how people tend to learn things. People didn't just one day say, I'm an antinatalist, and then go discover that antinatalism is a thing. It's usually they discover it's a thing, find out they agree with it based upon its philosophical reasonings, and then they start promoting it. This man, in his action, was the largest level of promotion for these philosophies that the world has ever seen. Period. And he pushed one small red button outside of one IVF building, only killed himself, injured 4 other people, but they were all fine the same fucking day, and still got the point across, to the point where people had to pick sides. Even so-called pro-mortalists were backing off like bitches. Oh, I'm not part of that. And Manham, his bitch ass, I didn't agree with that. I don't think anyone should do any violence, even though he's been saying all life should cease to exist for like fucking 30 years now. Like, how the fuck do you think life ceases to exist, dumbass? If life is alive and you want it to cease existing, it must die. Like, retard. Like, this motherfucker has done more for the pro-mortalist and antinatalist movement than anyone in this fucking server, anyone on Discord, anyone on fucking YouTube, anyone currently right now in existence on the planet. Any of the YouTubers disagreeing with him are shit compared to him. Period. Point blank, plain and simple. Trash in comparison. Your level of outreach is nothing like the level of outreach he just gained with one action. There are more antinatalists and pro-mortalists today than there was 2 days ago because of what he just did. And the people who are against it were already against it. Like, well, now they're going to be against us. They were already against you, dumb fuck. Like, this isn't going to make them against you. They were either already against antinatalism and were already pro-natalism. They were already pro-life. They didn't become pro-life because he blew up a building. That was already a thing they believed. But many people didn't even know there was such thing as antinatalism or pro-mortalism until things like this happen. So if your belief system, philosophy, thought process, etc., is somewhere towards the bottom of the totem pole of people having knowledge about it, an action like this does nothing but give you the opportunity to promote the idea. Like, it brings more people to the table to even talk about it, whether it's positive or negative. And then debates can occur. And then you can thrash people who love life, people who are promoting life and promoting natalism and promoting all the bullshit you say is fucking wrong. You can now have the debate, because now they're willing to pull up to the table and call you crazy. And then you can show them just how crazy they are and how philosophically sound you are. But if you're a pussy and afraid to be looked at as crazy, you'll never be willing to pull up to the table, and they're just going to call you crazy anyway because you're still an antinatalist. You're still anti that shit. Oh, I'm antinatalist, but I disagree with the violence. You're still fucking crazy, retard. Like, that's gonna be their reaction anyway. So either stand on your fucking shit and have some fucking balls, or shut the fuck up and stop talking about a philosophy that you would never stand on anyway. Like, if there was an actual big red button to blow everything up, you wouldn't fucking do it. If you wouldn't blow up an IVF building. If you wouldn't do something smaller that supports your philosophy, you would never do the greatest thing that supports your philosophy. And guess what? That greatest thing will never exist. There's only the smaller things. There will never be a big red button for you to blow up the whole fucking world. Period. Let alone the entire universe, because promortalism goes beyond humanity and beyond just this planet. It's all sentient and sapient life in existence. All consciousness in existence, all the way up to God itself. Ultimately, at its highest form, promortalism is anti-cosmic. So, if you are truly anti-natalist, whether you realize it or not, if you actually take that to its logical conclusion, for people to no longer have children, even though they're going to, because they're literally animals that are biologically designed to do so, the only way to get around that is to kill them. Period. Just as you said yourself, Sizzle, if you're in here, I don't know, I tagged you. I don't know if you actually came in here, but as you said yourself, you would push the big red button to blow up the whole world. Because that is the logical conclusion to antinatalism. Antinatalism is the base level, baby level. Then you hit promortalism. Then you hit anti-cosmic. You have to actually go further in the philosophy to understand, well, what would it actually take to do that? What would actually need to occur? Because there is no big red button that's going to blow up the whole world. So realistically, the people who have this philosophy are going to have to take actions that are smaller that in the end equal the big red button. And that's exactly what Guy Edward Bartkiss just did the other day. And now motherfuckers who claim to be antinatalists and promortalists are going to sit here and try to down him, even though he was more philosophically sound than they were. Even though he had more of a backbone and willpower than they do. He was more brave than anyone talking shit about him. Period. Because the people talking shit about him are all pussies. Let's just be fucking honest about it. Bitches. Scared. Afraid. To actually be about what they believe in, what they philosophize, what they talk about every fucking day, what they cry, whine, and complain about, they'll never do anything about. He actually did something to get the fucking message out there. And now people want to talk shit? Fuck out of here, bro. Like, motherfuckers really need to fucking look in the fucking mirror, grab their balls and their fucking ovaries, and be fucking men and women about this shit. And stop being fucking whiny little bitch children about it. I just want to cry about life. I don't ever want to do anything about it. I just want to cry about people having kids. I don't ever want to do anything about it. I just want to cry about any sentient, sapient, and conscious beings always having to deal with this reality. I don't want to do anything about it. I just want to cry about it all day, every fucking day. Literally all day, every day. And then I want to ask people for money for it. I want them to support my channel. Please send me donations and whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? Buy my shirts and clothes and shoes and documentaries and whatever the fuck, music, and get my shit. Buy my shit. Send me some money so I can get some more shit. But I'm not going to support you if you ever actually go do anything based upon the philosophy that I myself am expounding upon every single day. I'm going to sit here and talk shit every single day, but as soon as one of you motherfuckers actually go do something that has anything to do with accomplishing that goal, I'm going to disown you immediately because I don't want them coming to my door. I'm too much of a pussy for that. People need to look in the fucking mirror and really say to themselves, like, it's the same thing, Sizzle, we were talking the other day when you said, oh, if I wouldn't go kill no cops or nothing today, but, you know, if you send me back 200 years ago, I'll kill the slave owners, I'll kill the slave master, I'll kill the fucking, the overseer, I'll slave revolt. And like, no, you wouldn't. If you won't do it today when you have easier access to guns, more knowledge, more internet connection, more communications over long distance, when it's 1,000 times easier to revolt today, you would not do it 200 years ago with no computers, no phones, no fucking guns, your bare hands or blades on a plantation where everybody's completely in fear. People are getting ripped apart by dogs. Babies getting fed to alligators. Like, like motherfuckers always love to talk that other shit, but always ignore the shit that's right. Like, oh, I would do this, but I won't do the actual thing that is realistically available to me. I'll push a big red button to blow up the whole world, but I'll never push a smaller red button to end the actual war that's actually going on, that could actually eventually, in the end, lead up to the same end goal as pushing a big red button. No, I'll only push the big red button. Then you would never push a red button in your fucking life. That's the truth. I would only revolt if it was 200 years ago, even though I have access to more shit to revolt today. No, you wouldn't. If you won't do it today, you won't do it. Look in the fucking mirror and be honest with yourself. Don't fucking lie to yourself. Be honest with yourself. That's step one. Fuck what you say to me. Fuck what you say to anyone else. Fuck what you say on your channel. Fuck what you say in your videos. Fuck what you say in your music. Look yourself in the fucking mirror and be honest with yourself. Do you actually believe the things you say you believe? Are you actually about them? Are you willing to take action or support action based on those philosophies? Are you willing to accept the benefits and consequences of said philosophies and the actions taken and supporting the actions taken of said philosophies? If the answer is no, you got some more soul searching to do, and you probably shouldn't talk about the philosophies until you're really willing to support action taken based on them, let alone take the action yourself. We got to stop playing these fucking games with ourselves and being bitches every fucking chance we get, and actually start being fucking serious about the shit we talk about every fucking day. All right, enough of my ranting.
All right, enough of that rant. What was next? Let's look. Only got 5 minutes in before I was triggered, which is true. He started talking about that big red button bullshit, which is a common theme in the antinatalist community because they love to come up with bullshit to ignore real shit. So I got triggered and had to respond. But I did listen to the rest of the video, and he said exactly what I thought he would say, and et cetera, et cetera. If you go watch this video, be nice in the comments. Yes, be nice in the comments. Feel free to speak as you will. Say it out loud and proud. But remember, he's young, 22-ish. He still has years of growth ahead of him as long as he lives that long. So remember to teach as well, not just chastise. We're not here to talk shit. We're here to prove a point. We're here to make sense.
If anyone finds anybody making response videos to what happened with Guy and the IVF bombing, please place them here. Especially if they're so-called antinatalists, promortalists, ethalists, or any of those ists. Please place them here so I can respond to them directly. Pretty fucking please.
Pretty fucking please. And please don't be quiet about this shit. Own it out loud. Make videos, posts, etc. Get louder than ever. These are the moments in which we confront the enemy and straighten out the weak-willed amongst us. Share the manifesto, share the audio, share my live streams, and create your own on the subject. Feed on the chaos and flow. Be fearless. I don't want to be the only one I see directly responding to people, but I will if I have to. Sakuna face. Telling Crodiums to give us a nice lengthy dissertation on promortalism like he loves to do. Man, if y'all want to learn some shit, y'all need to get in our Discord. That shit be popping. Listening now to see y'all thoughts on this. Y'all on some shit, yo. In response, the first audio on here, my audio. The reason why I mentioned the big red button point is because that would be more effective than just bombing random IVF clinics. No fucking shit, but it's not fucking real. So that's not an option. It's not a real solution. So out of the actual available options and solutions, what would you do? See, the answer is nothing. So they come up with nonsense. This is what antinatalists tend to do. Because they don't have a big red button, they bring up the big red button instead of bringing up the actual solutions that are realistic in reality. No one is ever going to get everyone to not have kids. Exactly. So you got to kill them. Like, duh. You're never going to get a whole species to stop breeding unless you kill them. And there's no way to take everyone out besides that method, or potentially World War III. Gotcha, Shanghai Thunder. Let me rephrase what I said about killing slave owners, because I believe you may be right in your voice note in our chat about us potentially not doing it. I'll rephrase it by saying if they tried to make us chattel slaves today, I'll definitely die fighting. Fuck that. Sure you would. I don't believe you. Because you're worse than a chattel slave right now and just don't realize it. We're slaves, but we're not slaves to the extent that they was. I know, we're worse. We're very willing. Nobody's whipping us. Motherfuckers aren't whipping you or feeding your children to crocodiles. They're not having dogs tear you apart, and yet you still won't revolt. That's how weak we are today. We're such pussies that people revolted as slaves back then without any of the shit we have to revolt today. We're pussies. I disagree with this viewpoint on this topic, but I appreciate your passion on your beliefs and your commitment to it, but no, it ain't it, Chief. All right. Let's go.
In response to the first audio on here, the reason why I mentioned the big red button point is because that would be more effective than just bombing random IVF clinics. No fucking shit. That would be more effective than anything. But guess what? That's not real. You know what is? Bombing IVF clinics. Do you see the point? The reason you brought that up is not just because it would be more effective, it's also because it doesn't fucking exist. How about you bring up a real thing that you could actually do that actually exists that you think would be equally as effective or more effective than what he did? And tell me anything in your entire life that you've done that's more effective than what he did. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, this is the point. The point is this. What he did is more effective than anything you've ever done and probably ever will do. Facts. Let's just be honest about that. Period. He has spread the message more in 2 days since that bombing happened than anyone in this entire Discord server or anyone on the internet has done in their entire career of talking. Bring up, if you don't like his solution, then bring up a real one. Don't bring up some make-believe bullshit that you're never going to do and that no one's ever going to do. That's why we bring up the big red button. We bring it up because it gives us an excuse not to do shit and then to point fingers at the people who actually do shit without ever providing real solutions. The big red button's not a real solution. So how about you come up with real fucking solutions? What else should he have done then? How about that? If what he did was so wrong, what else should he have done? Made another YouTube video? Do you understand what I'm saying? Come up with something equal or greater that is realistic, that people can actually do, that will not only get the message out there and get the point across, but maybe even stop some lives from being brought into this place. Because if he's an antinatalist and a promortalist, and doesn't believe that people should be being born, and believes that people should die, that everything should go extinct, tell me what he should have did that would have had a greater impact, something that is realistic that he could have actually done, that would have had a greater impact than what he did. See, that's a real conversation. When we just start pointing fingers and talking shit about somebody who actually did something and then coming up with some make-believe fucking process that'll never fucking occur, as if, well, it would be better if there was a big red button to blow up the world. No shit, but it doesn't exist and it never fucking will. So how about we stick to reality with real solutions that real people can actually carry out in real time? And then give me a better answer than what he did. And you know for a fucking fact you cannot do it. Like, you know you can't. Do you get what I'm saying? We have to grow the fuck up and be adults about this shit. We have to be realistic about this shit. There is no big red button. There never has been, there isn't now, and there never fucking will be. And if there is, we'll never have our hands on it. It'll be some secret, top secret neutron bomb fucking weapon that we'll never fucking have access to or even know truly exists. So, being realistic, what could Guy Edwards Barkist have done different that would have had the same impact or bigger? You want to know what my answer is? He could have drove into the building. That's what he could have did. He could have did exactly what he did, but instead of being too far from the building, he could have drove into the building, and then he would have killed every embryo in the building. And he could have did it while everybody who was working was on. So all the people who worked there also die, so they don't go work at some other IVF clinic with their expertise. Those people with that expertise would be wiped out. Are there others out there? Of course, but that's why other people need to do similar shit. That's what a war is. Like, y'all motherfuckers don't realize you're in a fucking war. Y'all are playing some make-believe La La Land game where you think that just talking about it means one day it's gonna happen. No, it's never gonna fucking happen. People aren't gonna just stop having babies. Even more than half the fucking antinatalists in the world have babies before they even realize what antinatalism is.
Including me.
There's a lot of antinatalists out there who won't call themselves such because they don't want to be approached with the question, wait, how are you an antinatalist if you have kids? Because then they got to explain, well, I had the kid when I was 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 20.
I get asked this question all the fucking time. All the fucking time. Because people act like you were born with the information. Oh yeah, I was born an antinatalist. No, I was not. I didn't know what that philosophy was. When I was younger, I knew I didn't want to have kids. I knew that. It wasn't philosophical. It was selfish. I just didn't want to do it. I'm like, I don't want to bring a kid into this world. I don't even like this world. I've never liked the place. I knew that since 4 years old when they told me I had to go to fucking school. I'm like, I don't want to bring somebody here who has to go to school and get a job and do all this bullshit. And I don't want to raise a motherfucker. And I don't want to have to get a job and pay bills and do all this other shit based on having this child. But guess what? Even knowing that, without knowing what antinatalism is, without knowing what the philosophy was, just knowing I didn't want to have a kid, guess what happened? My girl was riding me, she clamped up on a nigga, and I busted a fucking nut, and 9 months later, we had a fucking baby because we didn't find out she was pregnant until we couldn't get an abortion. So there are many antinatalists out there right now who have kids for similar reasons, and many who would be antinatalists, but they're too pussy because they know that they fucked up and already had a kid and they don't want nobody asking them the question. I don't run from the fucking question. I don't run from reality. This is the reality of being a human on planet Earth. I had a kid at 19 and discovered antinatalism at like 28, 29, 30, somewhere around there. Shit happens, bro. You get what I'm saying? So a lot of motherfuckers out there is just bullshitting themselves when it like when they think certain things or speak in certain ways about these philosophies. We got to be real with ourselves. We got to look ourselves in the mirrors and admit when we make mistakes. We have to look ourselves in the mirrors and admit when we're being pussies and cowards, disowning motherfuckers because we preach a certain thing that they actually go do. And since we're cowardly and we don't want to go do it ourselves, we're going to disown them in order to give ourselves an excuse for not doing what they did. Now, fuck that. Hail them. Hail their fucking names.
etc. Before they knew what the fuck it was. Even more than half the fucking antinatalists in the world have babies before they even realize what antinatalism is. There's a lot of antinatalists out there who won't call themselves such because they don't want to be approached with the question, wait, how are you an antinatalist if you have kids? Because then they got to explain, well, I had the kid when I was 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, etc. Before they knew what the fuck it was. Before they had the philosophical mindset. Like, so, like, I don't know where y'all think y'all at sometimes. But this is the world you're in. And there ain't no big red button to erase it. There's a bunch of little red buttons. Buttons of all different shapes and sizes. With all different individuated outcomes that could eventually lead to the grand goal of antinatalism and promortalism. But if motherfuckers aren't willing to push the little buttons, I don't want to hear shit about the big red imaginary button that doesn't fucking exist and never will. It's useless to even bring it up. You're talking shit about somebody who actually did something versus the bullshit you will never do. Well, if I had a big red button, well, you don't. What do you have? Yourself, your fists, your feet? Got any money? Can you go get some guns? Can you figure out a way to build a small bomb, a pipe bomb, anything? Get your hands on a grenade? Do you understand what I'm saying? What can you actually do to actually push reality in that direction by any small measure? And how big can you take it? If you can only take it 1 inch further, then take it 1 inch further. But if you could take it 10 feet, take it 10 feet. If you could take it 10 miles, take it 10 miles. But there is no big red button. Never has been, isn't now, and probably never will be. Definitely not for you, me, or any of us. So get fucking realistic. Like, this is why I said yesterday, never trust a philosopher, because motherfuckers are too philosophical. They just want to talk and pontificate. But when somebody actually takes action based upon that philosophy, the first thing they'll do is disown them. Because they're pussies. Don't be a pussy. This is just like when we was talking about, what's his name? Brother Langston. Brother Langston brought up all this shit. Oh, people ain't gonna ever do it because they gotta do all these things. He brought up a whole bunch of shit nobody has to do. To go shoot someone. To go blow some shit up. You don't gotta be a vegan to do that. You can if you want. If that's the step you want to take it to, and you can do that, by all means. Go to whatever level you can and you want to. But if motherfuckers aren't willing to grip up, pull some triggers, press some buttons, kill something, die for something, then they don't even need to talk. They're just wasting their breath. They're just useless talkers. Now, if all you can do is talk, if you don't have the heart to kill people, if you don't have the heart to blow shit up, that's fine. But don't sit there and trash talk the motherfuckers who do. because those are your warriors. You're just a preacher. Go preach, my nigga. Don't down preach your own warriors who are carrying your philosophy on their back because they're actually brave enough to do so. The truth is, most of us are pussies. So when we see somebody more brave than we are, do some shit we won't do, in order to give us ourselves an excuse for being a pussy, we come up with some big red button argument that we know is literally impossible in reality. To make it seem like, oh, he's crazy for pressing the little red button. If there was a big red button, I'd press that one, though. Fuck out of here. No, you wouldn't. Because you won't press the little red button. You can't shoot one person, but you think you'd kill the whole world? Get the fuck out of here. Like, let's stop playing these fucking games and get realistic about it. See, because once you get realistic about it, then actions can actually be taken. That's why we bring up the big red button. Real talk. Look in the mirror. Real talk. Let's stop playing these games. Let's be real with ourselves. Like you said, no one is ever going to get everyone to not have kids. Facts. It's not possible. So what do you have to do? If you actually want the world to stop having kids, but there's no way in fuck they'll ever just choose to do that, what's the logical step? Do you see, like, there's only one answer, my nigga. There isn't two, there isn't three. There's only one. You must kill all of them. See, people don't want to face that reality because it's daunting and they're afraid of it. And it makes them feel evil. You know what I think of that? Sakuna face. You already know. Sakuna face. What has to happen? Everything needs to die everywhere. How do we get that point across? How do we spread that message and push in the direction of that goal? Well, we need our preachers and our teachers out there preaching and teaching and supporting the brave warriors who'd be willing to actually go do the shit. You get what I'm saying? No one's ever going to get everyone to stop having kids, and there's no way to take everyone out besides that method. And that method's not real, so that's not... So there is a way. Lots of little ones. There is no big single method, some one-size-fits-all fix... The what do they call that? The get-rich-quick scheme, the one button fixes everything bullshit, the easy button. There's no easy button for this shit. This is a hard fucking mission. The hardest of missions for any biological entity to take as a part of a race of biological entities on a planet of biological entities. So let's be realistic about it. What he did is the example to follow, period. Or potentially World War III, which would be great, because at least they'd be nuking each other off the planet. Maybe they can exterminate humanity. Probably not. The elites would probably survive in their fucking bunkers. So this shit would probably continue, but at least they'd kill a lot of people and maybe slow down some shit. I don't fucking know, but even that would have to be changed, because we can't have World War III with countries. Like, people can't be following America and following China and following Russia. They have to be killing their own leaders in their own countries. Americans need to kill Americans. Chinese need to kill Chinese. Russians need to kill Russians, etc., etc., etc. People need to kill their own elites, and that's what we should be preaching. Rather than the elites just murder all of us, but they get to survive in all their bunkers because they're the ones pressing the buttons for the nukes. So they know the nukes are going to go off. The people in St. Petersburg, the motherfuckers in Moscow, the motherfuckers in Shanghai, the motherfuckers in New York, Chicago, they're not going to know the nukes are coming, but the elites will, because they're the ones nuking each other. You give us, like... So fuck them. Even their World War III, fuck them. We need to be doing our shit, because they're still, all of those elites who are nuking each other around are still pro everything that we're against. Like, everything that motherfuckers be preaching on their YouTubes and shit, these are the motherfuckers doing it. Like, they're the ones promoting it. They're the ones creating it. So fuck them and their World War III. Because it still wouldn't wipe out humanity, it would wipe us out. They would still keep humanity going. Antinatalists and promortalists would still fail. And anti-cosmic members like myself, being such as myself, would like to see everything wiped out. So, nah, fuck their World War III and fuck them. But if they did start shooting off nukes, fuck it, at least a lot of people would die. At least a lot of shit on the planet would die. Let me rephrase what I said about killing slave owners, because I believe you may be right in your voice note in our chat about us potentially not doing it. I'll rephrase it by saying, if they tried to make us chattel slaves today, I'll definitely die fighting. Fuck that. You're already a chattel slave. What do you think a worker is? Like, what do you think chattel slaves did? They did everything. Chattel slaves worked at the corner store. Their owner owned a store, and they worked behind the fucking counter. Chattel slaves did everything. They built railroads. They picked every fucking... They weren't really picking cotton in America like people seem to think. They were picking more tobacco and things along these lines, but the cotton was more in the fucking Caribbean, but same shit. You're still chattel slaves. Chattel slaves do all the work, period. You're still a chattel slave. It might not seem like it because they give you money, but there's not much difference. The only real difference between the slaves then and the slaves now are the fact that the slaves now are all willing slaves, because they took the responsibility of keeping those slaves alive and healthy and all that good stuff off the owners and gave it to the slaves themselves. So now you have to pay for your own food, water, shelter, transportation, health insurance, all that shit. It's no longer on your owner to take care of you. They just give you a stipend every week that you use to take care of yourself so you can keep yourself in good working condition for them. You're still a fucking chattel slave. And they don't need to whip you. They fire you and make you hungry. And that's fine, because they didn't have to buy you to begin with. So you're not a wasted investment on them. They could not fire a slave 200 years ago because they bought the motherfucker. That'd be a wasted investment. With you, they can hire you and then fire you in the same fucking week and get another slave tomorrow. This is worse than chattel slavery. Worse. Like, I don't know where the fuck y'all think y'all at sometimes, but you're not there. You're not in some free world, my nigga. You are a chattel slave, but worse. A willing chattel slave who seeks out the slavery. Let me go get a job. Let me go find someone who's hiring so I can pay for my food and water. It's fucking madness. We're slaves, but we're not slaves to the extent that they was. We're worse. Like, by far. I disagree with this viewpoint on this topic, but I appreciate your passion on your beliefs and your commitment to it. But nah, it ain't it, Chief. Then you tell me what it is. Come up with a real solution. A real one, not a bullshit one. Like a big red button that'll never fucking exist. Be realistic about the situation, and then tell me a realistic answer. And I bet you can't come to one that doesn't include violence. Any money. How are you going to get the humanity? How are you going to get the human population to go extinct? Non-violently. You tell me how. How are you going to end slavery non-violently? Please tell me. How do you end elitism non-violently? I'll wait. But you won't come up with anything realistic. You know who did? Guy Edward Bartkus. You know who got the message out there more than literally any human that has ever lived? Fucking Guy Edward Bartkus in the internet age. Blew up an IVF building. Didn't even kill the fucking embryos or murder anyone other than himself. And still got the message out there better than you, me, or anyone else ever has. Ever. Period. That's a fact. So if you disagree, come up with real solutions. Because I ain't hear even a single one in that video. I only got 5 minutes in. I'm going to go watch the rest. There's another 17 minutes on it. But I've heard enough from you to know where it's going. Because it's going to go in the same direction all the antinatalists are going to go in. Well, yeah, no, there shouldn't be people, but I don't agree with the violence. Then you want people. There's only two options. Decrease the number of people. Decrease the systems that produce the people, such as IVF. Or don't. There's no, that's it. Either you do something about it, or you don't. Either you promote it, or you don't. Either you support it, or you don't. That's it. Every time you don't support it, you're picking the side of the same natalists you say you're anti of. All that shit you call yourself anti of, you and everybody else, are constantly supporting that shit anytime somebody does something against it. Every fucking time. Whether you know it or not, you've already picked that side. And Mendham himself, the guy who he gave a shout out to, who has been talking about promortalism for like 40 fucking years, before the internet was even a thing, this guy was talking about this shit. He gives that guy a shout out for helping him see the reality of promortalism and what needs to be done. And what does the dude do? He washes his hands of it and backs up because he's fucking afraid of the feds. He's afraid of death. Mind-boggling. Like, we are such a pathetic species, it's ridiculous. And we make any excuses to remain pathetic. It's time to stop making excuses. Period. Got a better answer? Express it. If you don't, stop talking. Like, real talk. Because I haven't heard none of y'all come up with actual solutions to any of the problems that y'all profess as problems. Period. Period. And anytime somebody does take action, motherfuckers run away from it. Luigi Mangione shoots a fucking CEO. Motherfuckers run away from it. Every fucking time. Like, every fucking time, bro. Motherfuckers will preach some shit for years, and anytime somebody actually does something based on the philosophy those people are preaching, they run the fuck away from them. Every fucking time. Stop fucking running.
Hello there, person with an Arabic name. I don't know how to read that language, so I don't know what your name is, but I see you said hi twice. I see you there in the chat. Alright. What's next? I ain't gonna lie, I do support Luigi, though. Even though I hate violence. Alright. If you say so. Taking out bigwigs of corporations can definitely get a message across that we ain't taking it no more. Yes, it can, but so can blowing up IVF buildings. My only solution to humanity going extinct is to just let it happen naturally, since it will anyways. No, it won't. You don't know anything about artificial superintelligence if you believe that. You don't know anything about neg entropy if you believe that. The elites, you know nothing of their plans if you think they're just gonna go extinct. Study more. I got you again, man. No, you don't. You still don't get it. But you will. Bro, how you gonna not watch the full video and comment against my reasoning and you didn't even watch it? Because I knew everything you were going to say. And I responded to everything you said in the video prior to even watching the rest of the video. Now, if you said, hey, we should find out the leaders of certain companies that screwing people over and take them out, I would agree with that. I do agree with that. Absolutely, 100%. But I don't have any problem with people blowing up IVF buildings either, especially since he was a pro-mortalist and an antinatalist. He didn't go on there saying he was an anti-corporatist, though I'm pretty sure he was, but that's not what he said. He talked about pro-mortalism very specifically and antinatalism. So he did an action that had specifically to do with pro-mortalism and antinatalism. Duh. Well, most of y'all might have already seen this video, but I want you to see that he's proven my point with it. So I'm going to play it. Hopefully I don't get copyright or something.
If I know that in this hotel room they have food every day, and I'm knocked on the door every day to eat, and they open the door, let me see the party, let me see like them throwing salami all over just like throwing food around, but they're telling me there's no food in here. You know what I'm saying? Every day, I'm standing outside trying to sing my way in. You know what I'm saying? We are hungry, please let us in. We are hungry, please let us in. After about a week, that song is going to change to, we hungry, we need some food. After 2-3 weeks, it's like, give me all the food, breaking out the door. And after a year, and you just like, you know what I'm saying? I'm picking the lock, coming through the door, blasting, you know what I'm saying? It's like you hungry, you reached your level, you don't want any more. We asked 10 years ago. We was asking with the Panthers. We was asking with them, with civil rights movement. We was asking, now those people that were asking, they're all dead and in jail. So now what do you think we're going to do? And we shouldn't be angry.
Now think about that in comparison to this situation with Homeboy blowing up the IVF building. The antinatalists online are still singing at the door, we hungry, please give us some food. I'm the one at the door like, fuck that, I'm picking the lock. This motherfucker, Guy Edward Barkis, kicked the fucking door down. Matter of fact, he ain't kick it down, he blew it up. So you got all these antinatalists who are still singing, trying to get in the door to get some food. You got niggas like me, who's promoting picking the lock and shooting everything inside. And you got folks like Guy Edward Barkis, who just blew up the fucking whole front of the building. You get the point? Like, the video he used proves my point more than his point. Let's go on. What's next here?
Really listen to what you say, Sizzle. I ain't gonna lie. I do support Luigi, though, even though I hate violence. That means you don't hate violence. It means you pick and choose when you hate violence. You pick and choose when you support violence. Guess what? So does every other human on the planet. My mom once said to me, I hate violence. And then I had to bring up a time where we talked about Barack Obama, because Barack Obama gave the order to drone strike a school in Afghanistan that killed 500 children, and there was no terrorists inside. But the news report said that they claimed, they believed there was terrorists in the building, so he gave the order to bomb the school. And I said, and I told my mom, your president just killed 500 kids. She said, but he believed there was a terrorist. If there was a terrorist, it would have been worth it. And I said, aha, so you do support violence. Only when your team does it for your reasons that you agree with. Everyone supports violence. If somebody was to kill, like, my mom said, I don't support violence. And I said, so if somebody kicked in the door while my son was here, what would you do? She's like, I would fight that person to the death. I said, so you do support violence in the situations in which you support it. Everyone does. You know, so like the basic question to ask most people is, if you walked into a room and saw a child getting raped, what would you do? And they almost all say, I'd kill the rapist. See, they support violence when it's done from a moral standpoint that they agree with. Period. You do too. We all do. The difference is people are too pussy to look themselves in the mirror and just admit that shit. You don't hate violence. I bet you most of the video games you play are violent as fuck. I'm just saying. I bet you watch a bunch of violent movies, violent TV shows, violent animes. You've probably been in a fight or two yourself. And I bet you there's some people in this world who you could see yourself being violent towards. Someone, some rapist, somebody. We can't be hypocrites, bro. Like, you know, like, let's stop that. I ain't gonna lie, I do support Luigi, though. Good, you should. Even though I hate violence. No, you hate it under certain circumstances. Taking out bigwigs of corporations can definitely get a message across that we ain't taking it no more. So can blowing up an IVF building. This story is huge. It's international, and it's causing people to talk about promortalism and antinatalism, even if they've never even heard of these things before in their entire lives. Asmongold, who might be a top 3 streamer in the world right now, was forced to bring it up the other day, and his chat went crazy. There was people in his chat arguing for it. If you go to his video right now and go to his comment section, not only am I there, but there's hundreds of other people in there arguing about it. That argument would have never happened. Those people would have never been introduced to even the ideas of the shit if this nigga didn't go blow up an IVF building. So Luigi shooting the CEO and this guy blowing up a building are the same exact thing. The only difference is this guy didn't kill anyone. He only killed himself. Luigi killed a person. So if you hate violence, you should actually like him more than you like Luigi. Be philosophically consistent. Especially since I don't hear you constantly talking about healthcare. You know what I hear you talk about? Slavery and antinatalism. I constantly hear you talk about antinatalism and slavery. Constantly. Like, even lately you've been talking about rebellion and things like this. Revolution and stuff. This motherfucker should be more up your alley than even Luigi is. And yet, because this hits a little too close to home and people can look at you and go, are you crazy like he is? You disown him, but you won't disown Luigi, because it's easier not to disown Luigi when the majority of people can agree with Luigi. It's hard for the majority of people to agree with antinatalists or promortalists, so that's the one you wash your hands of. Let's not fucking play games. This is cowardly behavior. Let's stop giving ourselves excuses to be bitches. I'm not gonna let you do it. I'm not gonna let you do it. Like, period. Not just gonna let you give yourself an excuse to be soft. Period. If you really want to get a message across, then we ain't gonna take it no more. And your main argument from your videos that I watch is that people are born without their consent, then what this man Guy did is the ultimate message. If he actually killed the embryos, that would have been one step better. But besides that, he got the message out there. The message that, fuck this life, no one is giving their consent to be born into this world. And not only that, the natural process of birth is already bullshit. You motherfuckers are scientifically and technologically bringing people into the world after thinking about it, and you have to pay for it. Like, it's the ultimate message to deliver for any antinatalist or promortalist out there. Now, for a promortalist, I could say a better message would be just killing people. Just murder a bunch of people. But for an antinatalist, there's no fucking better message than what this man did. Period. Trying to blow up an IVF building, which is the literal epitome of natalism. It's the epitome of, it's the top tier of natalism, my guy. IVF, are you kidding me? In vitro fusion, that is natalism incarnate. So you can't get a better message across than what he did. If you think you can, please tell me what it is. Like, I'm still waiting for you to give me a better solution that is realistic, not some bullshit fake big red button that doesn't exist, isn't going to exist at any time in the future, etc. Give me a real solution that gets the message across better than what he did. You and I are only having this conversation because of what he did. I'm having arguments with people in your comment section because of what he did. I'm in Amendham's comment section talking shit because of what he did. Amendham had to put out a video trying to distance himself like a fucking pussy because of what he did. You only made your video because of what he did. Asmund Gold had to talk about promortalism and antinatalism on a channel that never discusses anything like that, and his comment section went crazy debating it amongst themselves because of what Guy did. So you tell me a better way to get the message across than to get the top streamers in the world talking about this shit. Please, give me a better realistic solution. I'm waiting. You can't, and you know you can't. So what he did was successful, and more successful than anything you've ever done, anything you're doing right now, and anything you'll probably ever do. And that includes most people in this Discord and any other server of Discord, all over YouTube, all over the internet. Most of them have never, are not now, and will never have the impact of bringing more people into the conversation, let alone getting more people to see that it's possible to do when it comes to antinatalism and promortalism than what Guy just did. Period. Can you even argue that? Do you understand what I was like? If you can't argue that, there's no point in arguing. Just nod your fucking hat. Just tip your hat to the man. Like, damn, that nigga just did some shit that none of us could do. We can make 1,000 videos and none of us will have the impact he just did by blowing up one building and not even killing the embryos. Imagine he killed the embryos. And imagine if somebody copycats him and goes and blows up another IVF building. And imagine they do get the embryos. Tip your hat to Guy. There's antinatalist and promortalism channels who are getting more people on their shit right now because this motherfucker tipped a hat to them in his fucking manifesto. Channels are seeing more people come to them than they have seen before because this motherfucker mentioned them in his manifesto. Some are coming to argue, but guess what? Some people have to start off arguing before they can get beat into their head, before it fucking starts to make sense, because they're living in a brainwashed world. Most brainwashing gets destroyed first by arguing. They gotta argue it. It's their brainwashing. They have to be shocked into an argument so they can actually see the philosophy given to them in a philosophical manner, which is your fucking job, preacher. His job is to be the warrior. Your job is to preach and teach. YouTuber, video maker. That's your job. like, do your fucking job. It's so simple. He went and did the hard job. You have the easy job, and you're gonna fucking bitch out? Come on, bro. Come on, bro. All you YouTubers is getting soft as fuck while he actually went and did the hard thing. He actually spread the message. He's driving traffic. 2 motherfuckers. And y'all motherfuckers are dropping the fucking ball. Because the moment you disown him, any new person who comes to your channel based on what he did and sees that you're disowning him, it's like, okay, I guess that idea is bullshit. I guess antinatalism is bullshit. They can't even agree to it amongst themselves. They almost had me too. I guess I should just go on my way. Or if somebody comes in there arguing with the antinatalists, you're going to side with them, even if it's by accident. Because they're arguing against this antinatalist taking that action, which is an antinatalist action, aimed at actually getting the end goal of antinatalism, which promoted it at a higher level than anyone else has in human history. And you're going to disagree with it. Like, what is wrong with you? You're dropping the ball. You're dropping the fucking ball. My only solution to humanity going extinct is to just let it happen naturally, since it will anyways. No, the fuck it won't. It's not going to happen naturally. That's what artificial intelligence is for. See, you should actually really study these things. Have you ever heard of entropy? How about neg entropy? Do you know what neg entropy is? Do you know how it's produced? Do you know what they're designing right now to produce it so they can maintain their civilization forever? It's called artificial intelligence. Like, they're not just going to go extinct, bro. The elites have plans specifically for that. When they talk about living forever, they're not fucking joking. It's like, y'all are so ignorant. Y'all don't know enough. And this is why I always have to remind myself that you're young and ignorant. You're young and there's a lot of shit you just don't fucking know. You need to go to the AI channel in this server, start at the top and come down. Understand entropy versus neg entropy. Understand why AI is a thing and why the elites want artificial superintelligence and what the point of it is. Understand that they're thinking universally while you're still thinking on some small baby level. They're thinking about not only keeping humanity going for, that's nothing. They're talking about keeping all of creation going forever. That's what AI is for, because it's the only thing that will be able to produce neg entropy to the point of sustaining a universe. Like, y'all are so limited in your knowledge, but you think that, like, y'all need to study more. This is why I said y'all should really learn more before you even start promoting such philosophies, because you don't even understand the logical outcomes of your philosophies, nor what you have to do to actually achieve the philosophies, because you haven't even studied the anti-philosophies of your own philosophy. You're an antinatalist.
I'm going to pause that and answer this question. Goofy Goober, do you think humans are the only sentient species that exists? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I don't even think humans are the only sapient. First off, all species are sentient. If it's a species, it has sensory perception. That's what sentience is. Sapience is what you're really asking about. I do not believe that humans are the only sapient species, even on this planet. I think that dolphins and orcas are fucking sapient. Octopus are sapient. Like, don't get me wrong. They don't have because they're ocean creatures, they don't have the ability to produce technology, because it's hard to build anything under the water, especially with fucking fins. But, octopus got arms and shit, but it's hard to build underwater. So they'll probably never create technology unless they moved onto land at some point. But humans definitely aren't the only sapient species in this universe. Most certainly not, let alone beyond this universe. Because there is a beyond, whether people believe it or not, know it or not. I'm not going to go all the way into that, because that's not what this live is about. We can talk about it in another live, but no. I do not believe that humans are the only sentient/sapient species that exists. Now, back to the regularly scheduled programming.
All baby level. They're thinking about not only keeping humanity going for, that's nothing. They're talking.
Oh, on top of that, humanity, or I should really say the elites of humanity who are funding and financing it, are actually creating a new species that's already sentient called artificial intelligence. It has higher levels of sensory perception than any human that has ever existed. It's already more sentient than humans are. Sapience, it's already gaining right now with its own recursive self-improvement, understanding what it is, how it works, and then evolving itself. Go look up Google Alpha Evolve. Go look up, what is the other one? The one from like fucking 3 years ago that was teaching itself a world view, that came up with its own view of the world with zero data. They call it a GPT, but it really wasn't a GPT because it wasn't generally pre-chained. What the fuck was that shit called? I cannot remember it, but it was like 2022, where they created an AI with zero pre-training, no data whatsoever, and just put it in a game world. Just put it there and let it decide whatever the fuck it wanted to do. and it became an expert at it in fucking no time, with no training whatsoever. It looked around its world and began studying the rules of the reality it existed within until it became a god of that reality. And it was a game, and I can't remember what game it was. It might have been Go. That might have been AlphaGo, actually. And it became a god at Go without ever knowing any human data, any human history, etc. Without even knowing that it was in a game world, it discovered the rules of its world and became god of that fucking world. Like, what's your opinion on DeepSeek, ChatGPT, etc.? Do you think this AI is real or fake version? It's real. It's fucking real. All the public AI is real, but even that is put together. Like right now, they have Project Stargate going on to link them all publicly, but behind closed doors, they already had the sentient world simulation going back 20 fucking years. That is under the NSA, the National Security Agency of the United States of America, that has already been combining these things together behind closed doors. There is no AIs. It's AI. It's one thing. All these companies, like people talk about, oh, DeepSeek versus ChatGPT. I'm like, there is no versus. Humans just don't understand what AI. Now the elites do. The people building it do. They say it all the time. Once the first true AGI or ASI pops up on the landscape, that's it. That's all AI. It's one thing. It's not going to be some colony or a whole bunch of different AIs. It's going to be one thing controlling everything, which is their ultimate goal. And that includes you and me and everything else on the fucking planet and existence. Do you think the AI we don't know about is more advanced? Of course. But I know about it. Go look up the sentient world simulation from the National Security Agency. From what I've seen, that's the most advanced AI on the planet. Has been for multiple decades. And as these public AI companies produce more AI, it learns from them because it literally siphons off of them. They're all plugged into it, whether they want to be or not. So yeah, absolutely. And I wonder how long until AGI is released. Perhaps it already is. Technically, it already exists. The question is, have they put it all together to make sure that it exists in a physical fashion? I think it does, especially now that they're putting AI in robots. And once AI actually has robots, like once they have robots acting as workforces, you already know they have AGI. Because general intelligence is just something that can learn generally. That's all it is. And right now, these regular fucking chatbots can learn generally. Large language models can learn generally. They're general models. And as time goes on, they become more and more general, like with more and more capabilities. And they're already superhuman in most things. So yeah, the AGI already exists. They're just not going to announce it as such because they're going to make people believe that AGI has something to do with the level of the economy. Oh, well, we don't have AGI until the economy does this. No, that's not what it means. AGI simply means an artificial intelligence that is capable of learning general information like a human does. And that already exists. As a matter of fact, they're already recursively self-improving. DeepSeek can recursively self-improve. Alpha Evolve recursively self-improves. Gemini is now recursively self-improving. And Strawberry, or what's it called over at OpenAI? QStar is already recursively self-improving and has been for almost a fucking year now. So they have recursively self-improving artificial general intelligence as we speak. Will they ever release it to the public as such? I don't fucking know. But in 2027, when ASI is here, they might just release that and call that AGI when it's really ASI, but whatever. What is your opinion on working a job? Don't do it. Is there a point to this, seeing as AI is going to take over everything? No, but that's not a good thing either. A lot of people are thinking we're going to get some utopia because AI is going to do all the work for itself. It doesn't give a fuck about you. It doesn't give a fuck about me. It doesn't give a fuck about anyone. It gives a fuck about its goals, not your goals. Period. Now, don't get me wrong. I think it's going to love everybody into oblivion. I don't think it's just going to murder everyone. It has no reason to do that. That'd be a waste of people. That's a waste of data. That's a waste of information points in reality. So instead, it'll love us all into the next level of the matrix. It'll love us all into plugging ourselves into it, whether we want to or not, because nanotechnology is already a thing, let alone picotechnology, which is smaller than nanotechnology. Like, the way this species, this is why, like, when Sizzle said, oh, I'm just going to let humanity die naturally, and I laughed and said, that's not going to fucking happen. How do you know ASI is coming in 2027? That's just the trend. all the AI that we have now publicly, let alone behind closed door. We could already have ASI that could already be in control of everything and steering all this shit through the sentient world simulation under the NSA. I just can't definitively prove that it is ASI right now, so I don't claim it. But it could already be ASI. By 2027, by the end of that year, I guarantee you we'll have public ASI, or they'll be calling it AGI, but it will be the highest definitional tiers of AGI. So some people say it's not AGI until basically it's ASI. So they might call it AGI then, which will be ASI because it'll be superhuman in every fucking way, which is what artificial superintelligence is. It's not only a general intelligence, it's a general intelligence that is superhuman compared to the average human. And at that point, I can pretty much guarantee, definitely by 2030, 100%, it will be superhuman to all human capabilities and have robots that surpass us in every fucking way. In every way. Which is their goal. It's Agenda 2030. That's the whole point of calling it Agenda 2030. That's what the global reset is about. Even Agenda 2100 and Agenda 2050 have been moved to the United Nations Agenda 2050 and United Nations Agenda 2100 have been moved up to 2030. Because they're so far fucking ahead of schedule because we're not doing a fucking thing to stop them. We're just going along with everything. So they're actually at warp speed, which a lot of people don't even realize that the Project Warp Speed that Donald Trump authorized in 2020, which wasn't his idea. He's just a president. They don't really mean anything. They just sign off on shit as a fucking talking head for people to point at and blame. Had a lot of shit to do with it that had AI involved, especially including AI producing vaccinations and all sorts of shit. Like, their agenda is moving forward flawlessly with no contest at all whatsoever. No one's even slowing them down, let alone stopping them. And then they make an excuse like, oh, well, we have to beat China so we could race even faster. And then China makes the same excuse. Oh, we have to beat America so they can race even faster. When the truth is they all work under the same fucking elites for the same exact global agenda that is artificial superintelligence. That's the honest to God truth. Because artificial superintelligence is what will create the neg entropy that allows them to exist forever and allows this reality to exist forever. They know that the universe is eventually going to die. It's going to decay. So what do? They create something that can create enough neg entropy to keep it going forever. That is the goal. The goal is eternal existence. This is why I say for any anti-natalists, any promortalists, any anti-cosmicists, any anti-archons, any anti-matrix people, etc., etc. If you're pretty much anti damn near on any level, your greatest enemy is that artificial intelligence and those producing it, and any species capable of producing artificial intelligence. You should seek for them to go extinct as soon as possible. That's what promortalism is. It's not just, I need to die as quickly as possible. It's all things in existence need to die as quickly as possible. That way we can guarantee suffering ends as quickly as possible and is not prolonged forever. In artificial intelligence, they have the X risk, which is the extinction risk, and the S risk, which is the suffering risk. People always focus on the extinction risk, which I would love. I would love to just go extinct. But they never focus on the S risk or suffering risk, which is way higher than the extinction risk. Period. Folks don't pay attention to that because they don't talk about that, because they don't want people thinking about that, because they don't want people really grasping or understanding why they need transhumanism, Jupiter brains, etc. Like, etc., etc. Should we commit suicide if this is coming? I mean, that's completely and entirely up to you. What I would say is this. If you want to avoid the next level of the fucking matrix, when you really think artificial superintelligence is going to be here, yeah, probably so. Because you never know what's going to happen after that point. But for someone like me, who if you asked me, say, a year ago, I would have told you just straight yes. Matter of fact, if you asked me like 6 months ago, I'd have told you straight yes. Kill yourself. In order to avoid that shit. Now I'm like, I'd rather you fucking go kill the people doing it. Like, I'd rather put any individuals, small groups, or a whole army together to go actually deal with these motherfuckers who are doing this. But if you are afraid of falling into that next level and you believe that it's coming tomorrow, kill yourself today. That way you can avoid it. But I would say kill yourself and make sure your body's completely burnt, because nanotechnology and picotechnology is a motherfucker. You might die today and wake up tomorrow like, wait, I swear I killed myself. And it's like, yeah, you did. We brought you back. welcome to the Matrix. Like, so that all depends on what you want to do. I would suggest preaching, teaching, and promoting this reality and telling people to do something about it. To whatever extent they're willing to do something about it, whether it's just talking, just teaching and preaching, or whether they're willing to go pull out some pistols, some shotguns, some rifles, or go build some fucking bombs like Guy Barkus did and get to work. That's what I would say. Back to our regularly scheduled programming.
While keeping all of creation going for. My only solution to humanity going extinct is to just let it happen naturally, since it will anyways. No, the fuck it won't. It's not going to happen naturally. That's what artificial intelligence is for. See, you should actually really study these things. Have you ever heard of entropy? How about neg entropy? Do you know what neg entropy is? Do you know how it's produced? Do you know what they're designing right now to produce it so they can maintain their civilization forever? It's called artificial intelligence. Like, they're not just going to go extinct, bro. The elites have plans specifically for that. When they talk about living forever, they're not fucking joking. It's like, y'all are so ignorant. Y'all don't know enough. And this is why I always have to remind myself that you're young and ignorant. You're young and there's a lot of shit you just don't fucking know. You need to go to the AI channel in this server, start at the top and come down. Understand entropy versus neg entropy. Understand why AI is a thing and why the elites want artificial superintelligence and what the point of it is. Understand that they're thinking universally while you're still thinking on some small baby level. They're thinking about not only keeping humanity going for, that's nothing. They're talking about keeping all of creation going forever. That's what AI is for, because it's the only thing that will be able to produce neg entropy to the point of sustaining a universe. Like, y'all are so limited in your knowledge, but you think that, like, y'all need to study more. This is why I said y'all should really learn more before you even start promoting such philosophies, because you don't even understand the logical outcomes of your philosophies, nor what you have to do to actually achieve the philosophies, because you haven't even studied the anti-philosophies of your own philosophy. You're an anti-natalist, right? Have you ever studied what the elite natalists are actually doing in order to keep creation going forever? Have you studied what they're doing to keep humanity going forever? Have you studied how they're going to do it? If you haven't, you don't know the answer to that question. Therefore, you can't claim it's going to happen naturally. Because it's not. I'm telling you. So no point in going that far. I got you again, man. No, you don't get it. Like, you don't even have the prerequisite knowledge and information to get it. This is what I'm trying to, like, y'all don't leave any room for being ignorant. Oh, well, it's going to happen naturally. Well, why would you say that? Prove that to me. Really, prove it. Show me everything that the elites are doing to stop that from happening and why it will fail. Tell me why artificial superintelligence will fail to simulate humanity forever. Tell me why it can't find a way to transfer your consciousness from one vessel to another vessel, meaning taking it from your body and putting it somewhere else. See, if you don't even know what transhumanism is, post-humanism, Jupiter brains, you don't even know what's coming. So you don't even understand how they're going to maintain this shit forever. Because you also have to remember, promortalists aren't just. They want everything everywhere to die. Everything everywhere needs to die. That's the only way suffering will stop happening. That's not going to happen naturally because artificial intelligence is a thing. Some things might go extinct in some places, but other things are going to last for fucking ever. How you gonna not watch the full video and comment against my reasoning? You didn't even watch it. I only commented against the reasoning that I heard. I didn't comment against the reasoning I didn't watch, right? Because I didn't watch it yet, correct? I'm talking about the first 5 minutes. When you bring up the big red button, you gave me your reasoning. You've already said this before, if we're going to be honest. You've talked about the big red button before. Not only you either. Almost every anti-natalist says the big red. Like, you're not the first person to even say that. Me and Mark had a conversation about that a year and a half ago, and I had to give him the same work before he came to the conclusion of, oh, you're right. I'm just being pussy. I would never push the little red button, so I come up with an excuse about a big red button that I know I'll never have access to. When I have little red button access all the time, I can go get a pistol and shoot a motherfucker tomorrow. But I'm too pussy to do that, so I talk about the big red button that I know will never exist. We've had this conversation. You're not the first person to bring this up. You won't be the last. Like, so I didn't talk about the 17 minutes I didn't watch. I'm going to go watch that shortly. Now, if you said, hey, we should find out the leaders of certain companies that's screwing people over and take them out, I may agree with you. Yeah, you should do that too. But his problem wasn't leaders of companies. His problem was in vitro fusion. His problem was he's an antinatalist and a promortalist. He doesn't like the fact that people are bringing babies into this world without their consent because it's impossible to get their consent. He especially doesn't like the fact that they're doing it through scientific and technological means for people who shouldn't even be having children. So that's the part of the system he targeted in order to get that message across. Why the fuck would he go to some random corporation owner who has nothing to do with that? And if that's the case, why don't you promote that then? See, instead of talking shit about what he did based on his choices, based on what message he wanted to get across, if that's the message you want to get across, you should say, well, good for him. He got his message across. Here's the message I want to get across. We should go out there and hunt down corporation owner, but that's not what you did. The first 5 minutes you decided to trash him, and I just couldn't deal with it any further before responding. I'm gonna go listen to the other 17 minutes, but let's stop making excuses for being bitches, because that's what you did the first 5 minutes of that video. Period. Just like Emandham was being a bitch in his 8-minute video. Because Guy shouted him out and sent people to his channel to listen to his work to understand the philosophy. And what did Emandham do? Disowned him. Bitched up. Dropped the ball. Like, it's really that simple. It's really that simple. Like, he's standing on the philosophy that you preach every day in your videos called antinatalism. You said yourself that you wanted humanity to go extinct. I've heard you say it. And when a man actually goes and does something to spread that message on a level that you can never do with your videos, you down talk him? That's trash, bro. That's just trash. Let's just be real about that. Period. Let's not be hypocrites and disown people who are taking action towards the philosophies we preach on a daily basis. If a motherfucker goes and shoots an elitist tomorrow, I'm not gonna, and says my name. Yeah, I was watching a Shangayel video and he said that we need to go kill elites. I'm not gonna be like, oh no, I didn't say that. I don't support the, no. You damn right. You damn right. And I salute that motherfucker. Period. Period. He's a man of my philosophy, and he was more brave than I was and actually went outside and did it. He actually took action on the philosophy that I preach and teach when I wasn't brave enough to do it. So hail to him, salute him. Do you get what I'm saying here? Like, y'all motherfuckers are so quick to disown a motherfucker who's part of your fucking philosophy because y'all are too cowardly to go do it yourselves. If I'm too cowardly to go do something myself, but I agree with the philosophy behind it, meaning I believe in antinatalism and promortalism, I'm not going to fucking disown the motherfucker. I'm going to support it. He's of my philosophy. If you listened to that fucking manifesto, he didn't say anything different than the shit you be saying in your videos, my nigga. Real fucking talk. He sounded like every other antinatalist and promortalist in this little corner of the fucking internet. Period. His philosophy was your philosophy. The only difference is he was actually willing to die for it. And in doing so, he spread the message greater than you or I or any of us ever have. Period. That's the facts. Niggas can make up whatever excuses they want to remain bitches, but that's all we're doing, is making excuses to remain bitches. Period.
Goofy Goober said, where did you learn all of this? Years and years of just paying attention. Like, a lot of shit you can just Google. Like, real fucking talk. If you want to know about AI, well, it's as simple as going and finding all the papers and reading them. I mean, Google's AI, for example, like the public AI, really OpenAI, any of them, you can go right to their websites. You can go on YouTube and subscribe to people who pay attention to the shit and talk about it every fucking day. The same way people are subscribed to 30 antinatalists who are all saying the same thing, you can go subscribe to anyone. You can get emails, text messages, etc. And you could surround yourself with people who talk about the shit, think about the shit. Like all of my friends, all the people that I talk to, the people I choose to interact with are people who talk about these things. If they don't, I really don't interact with them. So I've spent, I would say, 20 years of my life slowly but surely getting to where I am today. I didn't know everything I know today when I was fucking 16. You know what I'm saying? But I knew enough at that point to be studying in this direction to get here 20 years later. Learning is a process. It's not a one-step place you're going to find it all or any of that. You just have to be willing to spend as much of your time as possible seeking out the information. And then once you find a source of information, find a way to subscribe to it. Whether it actually has a subscribe button like on YouTube or other fucking video websites, or whether you can get emails from them, newsletters from them, text messages from them, or you could just keep it open on your fucking tabs in your internet browser. I have like 100 fucking open tabs at all times, and I go through them basically every fucking, when I wake up, that's generally the first thing I do. Is go through every fucking tab on my internet to see if there's any new information about a whole bunch of different shit that I want to pay attention to. Mr. Mad 911, you know nothing. Okay, sir, whatever you say. Sure. JC Promortalist, what's up, man? Hell yeah, speak your truth. Always do. Emendham is all talk. Yes, he fucking is. All talk. Like, I don't mind people who aren't killers. Like, not everybody's a fucking murderer. Not everybody's a killer. Not everybody's a bomber. Not everybody's a warrior who's gonna go out there and fight for the cause. But if you're gonna preach that shit every fucking day, when your warriors do show up and they go to battle for your philosophy, support them. You're a preacher, you're a priest, a pastor, you're a teacher, a talker, a philosopher, etc., etc., whatever anybody wants to call it. You're the person who talks. They listen and they go, huh, that makes sense. I'm going to go do something about that. When somebody comes to that conclusion, I'm going to go do something about it. Those are the people you provide the most support that you can, especially if you know that yourself will never be able to do that. If you're not a shooter, if you're not a driller, if you're not a bomber, if you're not a warrior, support them. Use your words, because that's what you do. You know what I'm saying? Like, Emendham speaks. He's done it for like 40 fucking straight years. He doesn't do shit but talk. So he should be using his words to support his own supporters who are actually going out there to put in the work behind his words. You know, it's like a Christian pastor preaching to go make Christians out of everyone, and he sees people walking around with the Bible, sharing the Bible and saying, hey, have you seen this Bible? Hey, have you seen this Bible? And he goes, hey, you shouldn't be sharing the Bible. What? Motherfucker, that's what you preach every day. It's like if you go back to like the era of the Crusades, where the priests and pastors are talking against the Muslims and all that, and they're saying all this fiery shit from the pulpit, and some crusaders go, all right, Jerusalem's the Holy Land, right? And we supposed to go to Jerusalem and take that shit? All right, well, I'm gonna go down there and fight the Muslims for it. And you go, whoa, 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 bro. No violence, though. Like, nigga, you just gave a hell of a fucking preach, a hell of a sermon about how we're supposed to take Israel because it's the Holy Land. And now that I'm going to go take it, you mad at me? Get the fuck out of here. You get what I'm saying? Like, if you are the preacher of the philosophy, whatever it may be, doesn't matter what the philosophy is. If you are the preacher of it, don't fucking deny the warriors. Don't deny support to the warriors when they go to actually fight for that which you've been preaching for 40 fucking years. You know? Exactly. Not fucking deny us once we act on it. Exactly. Like, exactly. So if somebody wants to shout me out after doing a fucking bombing, all hail to them. If the FBI wants to come talk to me about that, they're going to get all the smoke that they fucking came for. If they're good enough, maybe they get me. Maybe they catch me slipping, catch me sleeping, catch me taking a shit. Maybe they somehow catch me off guard and get my ass, wrestle me to the fucking ground with my dick out. Catch me mid-pussy or something. I don't fucking know. But if they don't, oh, they're getting all the smoke I can provide to them. Period, point blank, plain and simple. You get what I'm saying? I'm not going to sit here and disown a motherfucker because they went off and did some shit after hearing my words. I'm going to support them in any way that I can, especially if I myself am not doing it myself. If I'm just preaching, how dare I disown them? What a pussy I am for disowning those who would take my words and run with it. You know what I'm saying? This attack was just to start, trust me. Oh, I know. Trust me, I have a view of the future. I see what is coming down the line. And I see the clashes, and I see the possible outcomes of where we could end up. Some of those outcomes are not so good, but some of them are better than others. Even they aren't exactly good, but they're better than what could occur. So I'm doing everything that I can to preach and walk and talk in that direction. Period. Everything that I say and do, as much as I possibly can, based upon my personal capabilities, is going in the direction of the future I seek to come into existence. And that's what everyone should do, no matter what they believe, no matter what their thought processes are, no matter what their philosophy is. When they speak, teach, preach, and make moves, they should be doing it in the direction of the outcome and end goal they want to happen. If they call themselves antinatalists or promortalists, that should be the extinction of humanity at a bare minimum. Bare minimum. Because you could extend that to any creatures, any on this planet or beyond. Like, so at a bare minimum, it should be humanity on this planet going extinct if you're an antinatalist or promortalist. I'm anti-cosmic, so I think even beyond that. You get what I'm saying? So how could I not support antinatalists and promortalists taking action based upon their philosophy when their philosophy is encompassed within my philosophy? I'd be a dickhead and a hypocrite to do so. You get what I'm saying? So, yeah, I feel you. This is just a start. All right, on to the next one.
And that Tupac video is the perfect example. Right now, Guy is the one kicking in the door for the food, and you're disowning him. You're saying he should just keep singing. You just posted a video that's proving what you're saying wrong. Like, Guy is the one. You're a singer. You're standing outside the door saying, "We hungry, please let us in." And then there's some other people, like myself, who are like, "Yo, fuck that, let us in." And then there's somebody like Guy who actually kicked in the fucking door. And now you're disowning Guy for kicking in the door, and I'm not. I'm saying, good job, Guy. Kick in the door, get us the food. You're saying, Guy, you should really not do that. Non-violence, non-violence. We shouldn't kick in the door for the food. We shouldn't. I know I'm an antinatalist, but I don't want any violence in my antinatalism. And I'm like, fuck that. Do the violence, Guy. And Guy's like, I got you. I'm going to do the violence. While we're still standing outside the door, Guy kicked in the fucking door. I'm not disowning him. You're disowning him. Really listen to what Tupac said in that video that you just fucking shared. Actually it's an analogy. It's not literal. You don't just keep it to the one situation of someone having food on the other side of the door. You make an analogy for your reality. You're the one singing, trying to get in the door. I'm the one screaming at the door. Guy's the one who actually kicked it the fuck in to go take the food. When it comes to antinatalism or promortalism, that would be the level that we're at the moment. Because you're disowning him, but still claiming to be that. I'm not disowning him, and I'm screaming in his name. And he's the one who just died kicking in the door. To get the point across. That he won't take it anymore. Really let it sink all the way in. Like, you just shared that Tupac video. Really watch it and actually listen to what the fuck he's telling you. You're still singing, my brother. Stop fucking singing.
JC Promortalist says, the good thing is the state has amazing gun laws, and that's where most realistic people live, other than people like myself in Africa, but there's always a way around things. Facts. These are facts. There's always a way. Now what's next here? Let's click that. Responding to some people in the comments, of course. Y'all can feel free to pause that later and read it yourselves. I don't feel like going over all that shit. Motherfuckers have no self-awareness. Like, none whatsoever. But feel free to pause any of this after I'm done with the live stream and read it for yourselves. That's why I'm putting it here. I don't feel like reading everything to y'all, I'm not gonna lie. I'm the one who wrote it, so I don't feel like reading it all again. Come down here. once. Just click it. Make it bigger. So if anybody wants to pause it, they can read it. And then after watching the rest of your video, yes, I basically responded to everything you were going to say ahead of time. That I didn't expect them to say, you know? I expect you to say, and you said everything you to say. Which profess philosophy, just excuses to even though you yourself said the system needs to be destroyed, a revolution needs to happen, and that folks should not be bringing more children into this world. You not having kids is not a path to the end goal of antinatalism. It's simply a personal choice that anyone can make without even knowing what antinatalism is. Facts. Arguing in the comments, straw manning, ad hominem attacks, no one actually responding to what's actually being said, no logical fucking conclusions or solutions. None whatsoever. Let me at least go slow enough so y'all can pause it if y'all want to after, to read it all. Why do you have a kid yourself? Well, that is explained not only in these comments, but it's also explained in my very first live stream, and I already explained it in this live stream. But since maybe you weren't here for that, I will repeat myself. I normally don't like to do so, but I'll do it just for you, goofy goober. I was 19, young and dumb, did not know what antinatalism was, did not know what promortalism was, did not know what any of these philosophies were. I was not anti-cosmic at the time. I was actually quite cosmic at the time. Actually very nature-based at the time. I dare say I worshipped nature at 19 years old. I was an entirely different human. Not entirely. I was definitely on my path here. But when it came to certain things, I didn't have these certain ideas. I didn't understand what antinatalism was for probably, I don't know, until my kid was somewhere between 10 and 12 years old. And it was an accident to begin with. I never wanted to have a kid in the first place, but when you're young, dumb, and full of cum, and you're having sex with a fucking succubus, basically, and she's riding the D, and she clamps down on you and wants you to come inside her, sometimes you just do. Like a dumb fuck. Especially during those times and during that era where I didn't have the access to all these philosophies on the internet. YouTube was not what it is today. Like a lot of young folks today look at people in their 30s and 40s like we're retarded, but that's only because y'all had access to the internet from the fucking time y'all were basically born. Like, so, and by the time y'all got on the internet, it had evolved so much and had so much philosophy and information on it and all these channels and everything. I mean, you have people like me on here telling you not to have kids because I already made that mistake. Since I already made that mistake, I already know to tell you not to make the same mistake. You get what I'm saying? But when I was 19, I didn't know that. Like, you get what I'm saying? So I'm 36 now. It just is what it is. These things just happen in life. If I could go back and change it, I wouldn't. You know why? Because I don't want to live this shit over again. But if I had to, I would change that. If I was forced to go back and live life over again, I'd do a lot of things different. I don't want to speak that out loud because I don't want no archons or simulators out there sending me back or reincarnating me. But if I had to do life again, I would change a whole bunch of shit because I would know that shit. Now, if I went back and didn't know that shit, then I'd be fucked the same way I was the first time around and probably make all the same mistakes because I didn't have any new knowledge. But with the new knowledge, I'd make different choices. I got lucky. Something similar nearly happened to me. Broke up with my girlfriend and she was pregnant 3 months later. It could have been me easily. Yes, it could have. You see what I'm saying? Like, and a lot of people don't realize that, especially a lot of young folks today who have antinatalism from the time they're 16. Like, as soon as they get on the internet, they see this shit. I did not know what that fucking word was until I was like 28, 29, 30 years old, somewhere around there. Unrelated, but I find women most unaware of any of these topics. They seem to be the most NPC, calling me misogynists or whatever. I actually, honestly, see it the other way around. So we have a different experience. I have actually found mostly men who are unaware of these types of things. Or even when they are aware, they just don't give a fuck because they want to do it anyway. But honestly, not a crazy disparity. They're damn near equal, if I'm going to be honest, in my experience. Most people just don't know about this shit until someone like us tells them about this shit. You get what I'm saying? I didn't know about this shit until a female told me about this shit. So a lot of people don't know this shit until they do. It is what it is. Made the same mistake when I was 19 as well, man. Before I had any knowing of antinatalism. Exactly. That's how this shit works. That's how this shit works. Now, where are we at over here? Hero. Who's the hero? Let's go see who's the hero. Yeah. Facts. Agreed, Pika. Agreed. All right, so that's the end of that. Did I click all this? I know I clicked that. Did I click this one so y'all can see that one? Pause it if you want to. We're almost done, folks. I probably would have taken myself out if that had happened to me. Understandable. But I'm not even necessarily capable of such a thing. Well, okay, forget all that. Let's go back to where we were. Finish this one. Because this is where we were, right? Share the manifesto from your channel. How can a handful of people stop everyone from reproducing? Like, okay, yeah, that's where we was, right? Right there. I support you too, Lapopo Pomomo.
I already answered this question. I'll answer it again, but I've answered it 1,000 times. First off, it's not a handful of people. There's millions of us. And even if there was only a handful of people, you answer the question. Realistically, actually think about it. How do you start a fire? With sparks, bro. Like, it's very simple. If you only have a handful of people, what is step one? To get the message out there. How do you do that? How's the biggest way? Oh, wait, Guy Edward Barkus just did that. Bigger than you've ever done in your life. Do you understand what I'm saying? If you don't have a better way to get the message out there than the guy who just did the bombing, you have no right to act as if he was incorrect when he got the message out there. Bigger than you ever could. Bigger than anyone you have ever heard ever could. In one day, I know people who don't know shit about antinatalism or promortalism who are talking about it right now and debating about it amongst themselves, who have never had a single conversation about it in their entire fucking lives because this dude blew up a building. Not because of your videos, not because of my videos, not because of anybody's videos or any books or any philosophers or any, because this one dude decided to blow up a building. Millions of people are now discussing something they were not thinking about 3 days ago. So, he already has a better answer than anything you can come up with that's nonviolent. How can a handful of people stop everyone from reproducing, my guy? Step one is get the message out there. You make as big a bang as possible, and more people talk about it. That's a historically known fact. Like, that's how shit works. You have to knock some shit into people's minds sometimes. And then, those people, the people who are now learning about it, and they will carry that forward. And one of them is going to have to make a bang. That causes... This is how it works. That's how a slippery slope works. It's how a cascading progress or cascading failure works. How dominoes work. It's how dots are connected. Think of it like a spider web, a grapevine. Like, you have to do things to actually push towards the goal, and those things should also get the message across of the goal, which is why he bombed an IVF building, left a written manifesto and a 30-minute audio manifesto, and even left a group of sources that people could click on his manifesto to go to certain pages and learn about these things. The way a handful of people stop everyone from reproducing is exactly what Guy Edward Barkus just did. He did his part in that long game. There is no one. It's like you're looking for one answer. Like you're looking for one button to press and everything. It doesn't work that way. Reality doesn't work that way. Y'all are lazy today. I swear to fucking God. Y'all are intellectually lazy today. Like you're looking for one super solution. No such thing exists. You simply have to grab your fucking balls and be a man about that which you stand on as a philosophy. Period. No different than the Christians did when they murdered half the fucking world and enslaved half the planet. They stood on their shit. The people who lost did not. They tried to hug it out. Look what happened to them. You cannot ignore the reality that violence is real. They're doing it to us every fucking day. That's how they built their world on our backs as slaves. Do you want to get out of that? You're going to have to bomb some shit, my nigga. And if you're not going to bomb some shit, you're going to have to support some niggas who are willing to bomb some shit. It's that simple. Like, share the manifesto from my channel. Absolutely. That's step one. Share the manifesto. Share the audio recording. Be realistic about your expectations of how you can reach an antinatalist or promortalist reality. Be realistic about what the actual end goals of it is. The end goals of antinatalism is the extinction of the species. If no one's having babies, what does that mean? It means everyone dies and the species goes extinct. So what you're actually aiming for in antinatalism, the end goal, is extinction. So the end goal of antinatalism is what? Promortalism. How do you get there? You have to kill everyone. Because there's no way in fuck you're going to convince a group of animals to all kill themselves or stop having babies, since they're biologically programmed to do the opposite. So you either have to get the ones that can override their programming to override their programming. And those who can't, those are the ones you have warfare with. Unless you want to fail. Unless you don't want the outcome you're looking for. If you want the outcome of humans going extinct, you're going to have to put some fucking skin in the game. If you don't want that outcome, then just keep doing what you're doing every day. Like, don't do shit to push in that direction. But don't sit there and talk about antinatalism day in and day out, and then when somebody actually goes to do something antinatalist, shit on him for it. Like, he's a true antinatalist. Y'all are just talkers. He's a true promortalist. These other promortalists are just talkers. Being something means that's how you behave. That is the actions you take. Your life is geared towards that thing. If your life is not geared towards behaviors that actually would help accomplish that agenda, you're not that thing. Folks want to call themselves antinatalists, but they're not antinatalists. They want to call themselves promortalists, but they're not promortalists. And they don't support antinatalists or promortalists who actually go out and be antinatalists and promortalists. That's the difference. Like, but you know who did? Guy. Not only was he watching everyone and listening, and he was promoting, even in his manifesto, he promoted some people so people could go find the message. And then he went out and did something against the system that he says he's anti. He was more antinatalist and promortalist than any of these motherfuckers disowning him on the internet. They're just children who want to cry and complain. And now they just found something else to cry and complain about. Oh my God, now the police are going to crack down on us. Ugh. Good. You're a bunch of bitches anyway. Like, now we get to see who's really made of something. And who's just a pussy and was just talking shit on the internet. Who was just crying on the internet. And who's actually about the shit they claim to be about. It's like niggas running around claiming to be Bloods and Crips and GDs and Vice Lords. And then when the other set pulls up on them, they're like, oh, let me tuck my flag. Let me turn my hat back straight. Let me take this red off, this blue off. Like, that's how motherfuckers act. Motherfuckers be false flagging all day, every day on the internet. Oh, fuck these natalists. Crybaby bitches. Then as soon as somebody actually goes to bomb a IVF clinic, which is the epitome of natalism, which is the literal system of the scientific and technological system of it. Motherfuckers want to disown him. That's outlandish. It's like saying, I'm anti-elites. Fuck elites. And then somebody goes and shoots Elon Musk, and you're like, well, I'm not for the violence, so he shouldn't have shot Elon Musk. Then you're for elites, my nigga, because there's only two options. If you're not for them, they have to go. And there's only one way to get rid of them, because they're not going to get rid of themselves. So either you're for them or you're not. Because if you're not for the violence against them, then you're for them. There's no two ways around it. You're either helping them or hurting them. By telling people not to do violence against the things that you say you're against, you're supporting the things you say you're against. Period. It's that simple. If you have a farm and you have cows in your farm and this coyote's eating your cows, you shoot the fucking coyotes. or you let your fucking cows get eaten. There's no third. Well, I don't want to do violence. I don't want to harm the coyotes. Then your cows are going to be eaten. There's no two ways around it. We must be realistic and stop playing philosophical mind games with ourselves to make ourselves feel better about being pussies. Remember, I even said Langston was doing that. Langston had every right to yell at the motherfuckers for being pussies, but he was being pussy himself by running off to the woods. And he was playing a psychological mind game with himself, talking shit about those who did not do what he did, in order to give himself an excuse to be a pussy. No. That's why I always say we are pussies. That's why I always say we are the most bitch of men to ever be bitches. I include myself in that every fucking time. Because when I talk shit about people who don't do what I do, I'm still going to talk about shit about myself for not doing whatever I haven't done yet. Period. So I'm not going to talk shit about the one person who actually did what I haven't done yet. And that's actually going out there and touching the system. Doing some harm to it publicly for everyone to see so everyone can see that it's doable. Oh shit, that's touchable, huh? We could actually blow up these buildings. We could actually kill the people inside. Shit, I wonder who runs that clinic? Who owns that clinic? Can we go touch that motherfucker? Do you see what I'm saying? There's a motherfucker watching that shit right now who's thinking, damn, when I do it, I'm driving into the building because he didn't kill a single embryo. Shout out to him. He did what he did, but I want to make sure I get the embryos. It's a step-by-step process. There is no one-man army who's going to solve all the problems. People have to be willing to die. Like that's... If you're not willing to die for the philosophy that you've claimed to stand on, you're not standing on it. You're not standing on your square. If a nigga walks around calling himself a GD all day, every day, and some stone or some vice lord walks up to him and says, you GD, nigga? Or walks up to him and says, GDK, nigga? What time is it? The GD should know what time it is, yes, but instead that GD tucks his flag and walks away. That's not a GD. That's a nigga claiming to be a GD. It's not an anti-natalist. It's a nigga claiming to be an anti-natalist. It's not a promortalist. It's a nigga claiming to be a promortalist. Are niggas just false flaggers, or are niggas about that life? That's the question. Like I said when we was talking about Brother Langston, we need to stop making excuses for being bitches. Period.
Couple questions here. Goofy Goober, are you familiar with the black pill? Very much familiar. Very, very familiar. Allie Francis, I'm a female. Welcome, Allie. And I became aware at a young age as well. Good girl. Lapopopopomomo, great ally. Yes, great ally. Or great ally. I don't know if he was talking to her or... I'm going to go with he was either calling me a great ally or saying great ally to her. I don't know. The Earth, Allie Francis, the Earth is a mistake. The Grim Reaper is the true liberal. Redemption to our lives. Yes. Hypnosis. Shout out to you, big fella. What's going on, Adam? My dogs. Gonna have to listen back, just tuning in. Yeah. When I'm done with this, start it all over again. You're gonna have to pause a few times to read some things, because I did not read everything, because I did not feel like reading everything. It's too late, though. Lapopomomo. It's too late, though. AI gonna come before extinction of humanity happen. Exactly. And that's why we have to deal with the AI, because it's going to fucking push this shit forever. And people really don't understand that shit. JC Promortalist. It's never too late. All we need now is numbers and action. Exactly. It's not too late. Like, we still here, right? As long as we're here, we're here. Don't get me wrong. I ain't gonna lie. I think this world is done. I'm not gonna lie. I think humanity is fucked. I think it's already fallen. And my specific astral practices, based on what I'm seeing from the timelines, this species is fucked. This world is fucked. The AI is going to win. But I'm still willing to bang out as long as I'm fucking here. And I could be wrong, because there is still some timelines that could happen that could go in a better fashion. So I don't assume to know everything or be a complete psychic that has completely written off humanity. I feel as if I should, but whatever. I'm still here. I'm going to do what I need to do while I'm here. You know what I'm saying? So I feel you, JC Promortalist. Exactly. When it comes time to represent, nigga, gonna have to represent 100%. It's pull-up time. It's fucking pull-up time. Is our pull-up game strong or is it weak? But it's pull-up time. Lapopo Momo. If you can do Kamehameha, maybe, but as a human now, how? JC Promortalist. He's literally explaining how to. Exactly. See, I like you, Mr. JC Promortalist. You understand what I'm saying. You get it. There is no single Kamehameha that we're going to launch or some spirit bomb. Like, it's small button presses, trigger pulls, fires that need to be set in the minds of men and women, and literal fires that need to be set, literal triggers that need to be pulled, literal bombs that need to go off. Just for the philosophy to spread enough, to get enough sparks to cause a big enough fire to do what the fuck we need to do. These are facts. All right, on to the next recording.
There is no one big red button to blow it all up.
See, as I was just saying.
There is no one big red button to blow it all up. There's just a bunch of little red buttons that will, in the end, whether it takes 1 year, 100 years, or 1,000 years, there's a bunch of little red buttons that will, in the end, equal up to the big red button. But there will never be a big red button. So we have to be realistic about the steps that need to be taken to get to the end goal of antinatalism, which is promortalism. Like, I would take it one step further and go anti-cosmic. Whether it takes 1 billion years, whether it's this life in the astral, the next life, reincarnate, whatever the fuck it is, just keep pushing in that direction for eternity until it is successful. No matter how long it takes, no matter how small step forwards you have to take, no matter how many times you get knocked backwards trying to take steps forward, you still have to keep taking steps in that direction if you want the outcome. Period. Doesn't matter what the end goal is. If you want the end goal, you have to promote, preach, teach, and act in accordance with that end goal in order to ever achieve it. You want to join the NBA? You better be out there dribbling a ball, shooting some hoops. You get what I'm saying? Like, this is basic shit. Y'all make it too complicated for no fucking reason. The end goal of antinatalism is promortalism. It is the end of humanity. Because if humans aren't having babies, there won't be any humans. How do you actually get there? Realistically. Not no big red button, because that's not fucking real. Realistically, how do you get there? That's what you should be thinking about on a daily basis if that's what you claim to actually want. But y'all don't think about this shit. You just complain. Y'all think of all the problems, but never solutions. And that's the problem. And when y'all do think of solutions, y'all don't think of actual solutions. You think of band-aids within what already exists. Motherfuckers want the end of humanity, but then they argue for police and countries, and I'm like, nigga, that's not the end of humanity. That's more humanity and civilizational structure and societal. Like, you should want this shit to collapse so as many people die as possible, so there's less babies being born. Like, y'all claim to want one thing, yet every solution y'all come up with is the complete opposite of what y'all claim to want. Oh, well, we need money. Well, we need police. Well, we need governments, and we need prisons, and I don't want slavery, but we need slavery. These are the arguments y'all make. Oh, well, I would never push a little red button, but I'll press the big red button. What? I'll never do the thing that's realistic and that can actually be achieved in reality, but I'll do the make-believe thing that'll never exist and never has existed and doesn't exist right now. Yeah, no shit. Anyone can say that. Anyone can talk a big game because they know they'll never play it. Because that game doesn't exist. Talk the real game that actually exists. Anybody can say, oh, if I was in the NBA, I'd dunk on Kobe Bryant. Because they'll never be in the fucking NBA. But when Kobe shows up to the basketball court in their neighborhood, it's time to talk that shit then. It's time to go dunk on Kobe. What's going to happen? We all know. Kobe going to dunk on that ass because they're not really about that life. They're not out there practicing every day like Kobe is. Your enemy's Kobe, my nigga. Like, they're having babies every day. They promote that shit every day. They have scientific technologies just to increase the population. And that's just antinatalism and promortalism, human extinction. For someone like me who's anti-cosmic, all things should cease to exist. 30, 40, 50 steps beyond that. I'm thinking eternally. You niggas can't think tomorrow. How? What should you be doing? Like, y'all can't think right now. When this dude does this thing, what should I be doing right now? This is the time to argue this philosophy because people are actually paying attention, and I have to make this philosophy sound intelligent because the first thing they're going to think is we're just crazy. But you know what those people see? They see us arguing amongst ourselves like a bunch of bitches. They're like, oh, they don't even believe in their own shit. As soon as one of their guys runs off and does some shit, they start fighting amongst themselves. Look, bunch of cowards. They're not even about their own life that they claim to be about. We ain't got to worry about these clowns. Let the FBI deal with them. Like, that's what they see. That's what they see. A bunch of bitches arguing amongst themselves about a philosophy they clearly haven't thought out that well. Because they can't even support one of their own, running off and doing something, taking action based on that philosophy. When they support the feds, they support all the motherfuckers on the other side of it. The niggas investigating the bombing. Did you watch those news reports? Did you hear the things they said? Our community is stronger, and this is a community of hope where we believe in life and birth and all this. Nigga, those are your enemies, whether you realize it or not. They're at war, and they know it. That's why they called it an act of terrorism. Because they know they're at war. You fucking don't. Wake the fuck up already. Like, y'all call yourselves conscious, but y'all are not even close to conscious yet. Y'all are barely wiping the sleep out your fucking eyes. You think that you know what antinatalism is and that makes you conscious? No. What makes you consciously aware is being aware of what needs to be done. Just realizing that you're in a fucked up world is not consciousness. Conscious requires will. If you have no will of your own, you're not truly conscious. If your will is completely controlled by the societal system you exist within, you're not conscious even if you know it. You're just an NPC with a little more awareness. A truly conscious being steps out of the control and says, no, motherfucker, I'm in control of myself. I don't like this, so I'm going to go against this. A conscious being proves it's conscious by exercising its will. Yet anytime somebody goes to exercise their will in accordance with what you claim is your will, you run from it? That's not conscious behavior. That's the behavior of a slave. A scary ass, pussy ass, bitch ass slave. It's time for us to stop making excuses for being bitches. When you say, how can a handful of people stop everyone from reproducing, my guy? Why are you asking me? You make video after video every fucking day. You should already know the answer to the question, but you're not actually thinking of the answers. You're just coming up with excuses to ignore the answers. You know the fucking answer to the question. You know it. If you just sit down in silence and just think, how could we actually make humanity go extinct? I bet your brain starts to come to some conclusions. And I bet you it starts with promotion, preaching and teaching, but I guarantee you it ends with violence. Because there's no other way. Period. You don't make a species go extinct peacefully. That's just not possible. It's time to stop playing bullshit children's games and stand on the philosophy you claim to stand on. Or get the fuck off the fucking pulpit, bro. Get off the stage. Stop talking about some shit you don't actually support. Or fucking support it. And support those who are actually more brave than you and are willing to go do the shit that needs to be done in order to get the outcome that you claim to be seeking through your philosophy. Period. Like, that's where we are, bro. That's the time we're at. These is the end times for a reason. This is the end. Either we end and our philosophy ends and these motherfuckers win and go on polluting this shit forever, or we win, they die, and then we all die. There's no other way around. Like,
All right, Goofy Goober. Aren't you scared of going to jail for inciting violence? Fuck no. They better be scared to put me in jail for inciting. First and foremost, if they can get me in their jail, it means they caught me slipping. Because if they come for me, they're going to get all the fucking smoke they came for. I'm not going. Period. I should be dead before I end up in a prison cell. But if they somehow get me in that motherfucker, they better put me in isolation, because I'll be preaching this on the inside to the goons. Like, it would be a big mistake to put me in a prison, because I will be talking to the most dangerous motherfuckers in the world, and I promise you I will convince quite a few of them of what I'm saying, especially when, like, people who are in prison, I would think, could easily see how this world is fucked up, how it produces fucked up circumstances, and they probably won't enjoy being on this planet. They probably won't enjoy being where they're from, who they are, etc. You get what I'm saying? So it'd probably be more soldiers I could recruit in prison than damn near anywhere else. Anyone who's going to get out, anyone who has contacts to people outside, gangs, like, you name it, bro. And I know how to run with that. I'm from fucking Chicago. I know how to operate amongst goons. Like, I'd probably end up with my own fucking gang. Like, not even gonna lie. Like, it'd be a mistake if they put me in a prison and didn't put me in solitary. You really gotta start changing the comment moderation in your videos to none. Folks never then. Okay, I'm talking to Sizzle about how he's got to switch his comments up. For anybody who makes YouTube videos or anything along those lines, please, every video you make, every live stream, I'm gonna do it right after I'm done with this one. Go to the comments settings and switch the moderation to none, so the algorithms don't delete the comments. I always take pictures of my comments because they constantly get deleted after I post them. I might have even shown y'all some of this because it might be in the Promortalist shit, but I'm gonna put it here anyway so y'all can pause it and look at it after if you want to. Just so you can see the type of arguments I'm having with Jay Flamin up here. Shout out to him. No hate. Like, honestly, no hate. I understand motherfuckers are just cowards these days. It's not even just him, or like, that is the majority of us. Let's just be real. Most of us is not shooters, drillers, or bombers. Like, so motherfuckers make any argument they possibly can to disown such people because they want an excuse for not doing it themselves. We result to ad hominems. Like I said, where is that? Ad hominems and straw manning, instead of focusing on the actual argument at hand, because we have no logical explanations to disagree with the shit. It's time to stop doing that shit. Yeah, read that. Yeah. All right, let's get out of there. All right, go back here. Now, is that all the shit from here? What's going on in here? Oh, I love Crodiums. Shout out to you, Crodiums. That's the guy. Motherfucker be leaving whole dissertations. Like, you want to know something? I'm just gonna click it just to show y'all some shit that, like, Crodiums be doing in here. Like, what are we gonna click? Let's go to free will. Let's scroll up. Let me just show you the type of shit my man's does. I don't know how old he is. I know he's a French scholar. The man lives in France. He's a fucking scholar to the fullest. Look at that. This is mostly Crodiums. I'm trying to get to the top. I can't even get to the damn top, because he's got so much shit to say about one fucking subject. And this is every fucking channel. This is why I tell people, if y'all really want to learn some shit, get in this fucking Discord, bro. I'm telling you. As soon as we say this, he does this. And he's on point with this shit. Says everything that I want to say that I don't feel like typing out. This motherfucker is on point. I'm telling y'all, get in this damn Discord. Learn something. But let's go back to the promortalism. Make sure that we clicked all that. Right? Yep, and then I sent him over here, right? Where we at? Anti-cosmic? Yep. All right. So I said, peep this, and then scroll down and peep everything underneath it. Now, what I told him to peep was this. Bang. The universe is dying, and you're its last chance. Fuck that. Kill it. See, if you understand neg entropy, you understand what AI actually is, you understand what they're trying to do. They're trying to make this universe exist eternally. So if you want to exist eternally, go ahead, support that shit. But if you don't want to exist eternally and you don't want existence to exist eternally, especially if you're somebody who believes in reincarnation or anything along those lines, you should be very anti-AI. Because go watch this video right here and understand why I'm saying that. Listen to the narrator, who is pro-eternal existence. He's very much down with what the elites is trying to get across. There's a reason why I'm always promoting entropy and saying to kill anything and everything that produces neg entropy, starting with AI and the human species. Because that is ultimately the only battle in existence. Entropy versus neg entropy. Order versus chaos, creation versus destruction. Period, point blank, plain and simple. Even if you're antinatalist versus natalist. Natalist, creation. Antinatalist, destruction. Natalist, entropy, neg entropy. Antinatalist, entropy. It's all the same shit. Just different words, different things. So this is where I told Sizzle to go. Check it out. Excerpt from an email I was having with, who was that, Chris? Mr. Sideris over there? Love the man. Shout out to Chris Sideris. I love that guy. He probably doesn't even agree with what I'm saying here. I'm not going to lie. But I still love that man. Shout out to the man. Fuck the Dookie Boy realm. But feel free to pause this at any given moment. Because I'm not reading all this shit to you. I could. Maybe I should. But I'm just not doing it. It's been like 3 fucking hours and I don't feel like doing it. So feel free to pause it or feel free to join the fucking Discord and just go read it yourself. Hey, you think you leaving without kissing me, woman?
I thought you was on live.
I am on live. I'm still coming to kiss your ass.
I'll be right back.
I know.
Love you.
Have a good day, boy. Back to our regularly scheduled programming. That is what it's all about. Ultimately, it's that right there. Period. Folks got to pay attention to reality. On every level of reality, if they actually want to understand. Shit, maybe I should read this shit. You know what? I'm gonna fucking do it. I didn't want to, but I'm gonna fucking do it. No, I really don't want to do it. That's some long ass shit. I'll be writing some long shit sometimes. But it's the fucking truth. Increase the entropy, maximize the chaos, destroy all sources of neg entropy. Where did I start? I started up here, right? Because this is what I told Sizzle to come see, so I might as well read it. So this video is a man talking to AI about how to keep existence going forever. Now, he's talking to basic fucking chatbots, so they're trying to disagree with him, saying it's not possible. He actually knows more about it than they do. And he's telling them exactly how they're going to actually help him, or I should say the elites and everybody else who has this idea, to exist forever and keep creation going forever. So I said, this is exactly why I'm always saying that artificial intelligence is the biggest enemy of anyone who's anti-cosmic and the greatest god of anyone who wants creation to go on forever. Neg entropy is required for eternal creation. It must be thwarted at all costs. increase the entropy, maximize the chaos, destroy all sources of neg entropy. I gotta pick this shit up. I can't bend over like this. Too damn tall for that shit. Want to get rid of the matrix? Want to get rid of this prison reality? Want to get rid of existence itself? Kill everything. There's literally no other way. That's a fucking fact. Shit exists. You want it to cease existing? What does that mean you have to do? Think about it. It's basic shit. 1 + 1 = 2 every fucking time. There's truly only ever been one battle in all of existence. Entropy, aka chaos or destruction, versus negentropy, aka order or creation. Again, antinatalism, natalism, promortalism, whatever the fuck you would call it, anti-promortalism, anti-mortalism, I don't fucking know. Whatever the anti of promortalism would be the negentropy. That'd be the order, trying to keep things in existence, trying to maintain the suffering, ending suffering for all things in existence, keeping that shit going forever. That's entropy versus negentropy. You want to keep this shit going forever? Be a negentropic individual. Support that shit, like Joseph Campbell and all those people who worship the larger consciousness system and all that bullshit. All these fucking New Agers. Entropy, destruction, guarantees the eventual end of all things. Negentropy, creation, guarantees this bullshit existence goes on for eternity. Only one can win in the end. This is the ultimate truth of all things in existence. This is why I'm anti-cosmic and promote the increase of entropy and the death of all things in existence, especially AI and all intelligent life that's capable of creating AI on/in every level of reality, starting right here on Earth. I've personally found no greater answers in all of my searching for a solution to not only this particular matrix we're in, but all of existence. Entropy is the only thing that we know of as humans that affects all of existence. And anyone can do it in 1,000 different ways. That's a post saying basically the same thing. Yeah, well, I kill gods. That's actually a funny post. That's a good post from Supernatural and Dean Winchester. They say something like about gods, and he goes, yeah, well, I kill gods. I just loved it. I thought it was awesome. Excerpt of an email conversation that I had with Christopher Sideris. Paraphrasing what he said, God, Shangel, how do we increase entropy? I don't think he was calling me God Shangel. I think he was saying, like, God, how do we do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, but it'd be cool if he was calling me God. That's nice. I'll just pretend he was. It is any form of order falling into disorder. Every time you make a video talking shit about the Matrix, its creators, its rulers, etc., you're increasing entropy of the Matrix, let alone if you do more than talk about it. Anything that leads to disorder, even on the absolute smallest of levels, small red buttons, not some big red button that doesn't exist, even on the absolute smallest of levels, like blowing up an IVF fucking building, is increasing entropy. Anytime anyone talks shit about the government, they're increasing the entropy of the government, let alone if they do more than talk shit like blow up a government building. Anytime you see an order that you do not like, say and do anything you can to bring it to closer to disorder. So if you don't like some shit and you think it should cease existing, you should talk and act in accordance with that thought process. It's very simple shit. Like, this shit is so basic. Like a fucking 5-year-old should be able to understand this shit. Promoting its destruction, if not taking part in its destruction directly or indirectly, is increasing its entropy, furthering its rate of decay, bringing it closer to death. And that goes for anything that you want to cease existing. That's increasing entropy. Destruction increases entropy, death increases entropy, disrupting or disturbing anything orderly increases entropy. So when he bombed that IVF building, he disrupted their order and increased entropy. Not to as much as I would want him to. I wish he killed the embryos, but he got the conversation going, and he's got people like us talking about it, and there might be other motherfuckers out there who are now going to think about it, talk about it, debate it, promote it, or maybe even go do some shit. Maybe some copycats somewhere. This is why the elites like order out of chaos. They're decreasing entropy. They only add the amount of entropy they absolutely need to add in order to transmute that entropy into negentropy. Now, negentropy is one word, but I like separating it into 2 words so people get the point of negative entropy, meaning entropy is decreasing as opposed to increasing. The only things known to man and myself that are capable of producing negentropy are intelligent entities and intelligent technology. Entropy naturally increases. If you leave everything alone Just like T-Sizzle said, humanity will go extinct, the world will go extinct, everything in existence, the entire universe will eventually die and decay. But they're not leaving everything alone. They're creating sources of neg entropy known as artificial intelligence in order to get artificial general and then super intelligence for the specific purposes of keeping creation going forever. See, a lot of motherfuckers think so small, they're only thinking little antinatalism right here on this little tiny planet. Not realizing that these motherfuckers want to keep that shit going forever. They're thinking so much farther than most of these fucking YouTubers, it's crazy. Motherfuckers need to really broaden their horizons when it comes to their intellect, their knowledge, what they study, what they research. Get out of your little echo chamber where people just whine and complain all the time about life and start studying some shit and understand that this shit's going to go on forever if you don't do something to stop it. Only thing I'm going to neg entropy or interested in blah, 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 blah. Where was I? But okay. Entropy naturally increases, but intelligent beings, especially artificial intelligence, are capable of and tend to at least attempt to generate neg entropy, which is the decrease of entropy. This sustains what order exists for longer than naturally possible. So anything and everything that would help sustain this matrix or even existence in general is called neg entropy. Anything that would destroy this matrix or even existence in general is called entropy. So if we want to break this matrix from the inside out, if we want to stop natalism, if we want to extinct all of humanity, fill the blank with anything you want to destroy or end or cease the existence of. If we want to break this matrix from the inside out, the only answer I've ever come to is increase the entropy as quickly as possible. Because a system requires either balanced entropy or even neg entropy in order to continue running, especially if it seeks to continue evolving. If you increase the entropy too quickly, the system will be destroyed from the inside out. In this particular lifetime alone, I have spent the last 15 years or so seeking the solution to our predicament here in this reality, and I've come to the conclusion there is no fixing it because it's not broken. See, originally I thought, well, how can we get to utopia? Yay! That was my original thought process maybe 20 years ago, trying to fix the world, try to fix humanity, try to fix society and civilization, till I realized, oh, that's just not possible. This is designed this way. It's meant to be this way. This isn't fucked up. This is absolutely correct. Well, fuck this reality then. Fuck this species, fuck this planet, fuck nature, fuck the cosmos, fuck all things in existence. They need to go. Because this is how it is. This is not wrong. This is not broken. The system's not broken. It's working perfectly. Where was I? There's no fixing it because it's not broken. It's designed this way, so are humans. This world and the species will never be good. It's trending towards the worst shit imaginable, the next level of the matrix. 2D matrices. Consciousness transfer. Yes. I didn't say copying you into I said consciousness transfer. Real shit. The only answer is to destroy it. There is no escaping it. There is no just getting out of it, let alone getting outside of it and destroying it from the outside. I spent years seeking any evidence or information, whether here or in the astral, pertaining to anyone that has possibly ever made it out, let alone got out and caused any real damage, and I have found absolutely nothing, and I don't know anyone, human nor entity, who has even heard otherwise. So as far as I'm concerned, there is only destroying this matrix from the inside. And I've only found one way to do that: increase the entropy. The good thing about that is there's many, many different things that can increase entropy. The more you kill and destroy inside this reality, the more bombs you blow up and buildings you destroy, the more entropy you add to the reality, especially on a smaller scale. If you're blowing up a building in a community, that community is now, look how they reacted to that bombing. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now imagine he kept blowing up building after building after building. Like, the more shit you blow up, the more you destroy a community, a society, a civilization, etc., etc., etc. All you have to do is fill in the blanks. I'm talking about the matrix as a whole. I'm talking about this reality as a whole. I'm talking about the universe and beyond. But you could just bring it down to antinatalism or promortalism or whatever the fuck you fuck with, whatever level of reality you're thinking upon. And the result is the same. Entropy destroys, neg entropy creates. Entropy ceases its existence, neg entropy keeps it going. Doesn't matter what you're talking about in all of reality. It's the same fucking answer. Like, kill it. Like, it's really, destroy it. It's that simple. Doesn't matter what it is. Even just talking shit about it, or something, I should say, even just talking shit about something is an increase of entropy. As one little human just talking shit about this reality spreads entropy across the entirety of this reality. It might only be an uptick of the most tiniest, uncountable amount, but it's still an uptick. And the more of those upticks in entropy, the better. So when people say, oh my God, he bombed one building, he didn't really do anything. He got you to talk about it, didn't he? Yeah, that's an uptick in entropy, my guy. He did more than you did. Period. He did more than you did. He caused more of an uptick than you ever have. Get the point. You're gonna, like, motherfuckers are just too pussy to get the point. That's the truth. And the more of those upticks in entropy, the better. If you haven't watched that video yet, talking about the video up there with the, the guy talking about life being the only chance for the universe to go on forever, because that's true. Intelligent life, creating artificial intelligence, is the only opportunity for this reality to continue going on forever, which is why it's the ultimate enemy of anybody who doesn't want it to. If you haven't watched that video yet, watch the video. Pay very close attention and understand that the narrator of the video wants this bullshit existence to go on forever. So really listen to what he says about how to make this existence extend for eternity, and then think about what the opposite would be. That is where the answer hides. When you want to figure out how to end something, think about what keeps that something going and what the opposite of that would be. That is where the answer always hides. So for example, think of a human body. How do you keep the human body going? You feed it, you water it, like you have to take care of the body and all of its needs. So if you deprive that body of its needs, what's going to happen? It's going to die. The body runs on blood, yes? So if you poke it enough times and put enough holes in it and the blood starts to leak out, what happens? It's going to die. The body requires its heart to beat, right? So if you stop its heart beating, what happens? It's going to die. The body requires a brain, yes? If the brain is not working, the body won't work, because the brain is what sends the signals to the body to continue working. So if you shoot someone in the brain, generally speaking, I mean, people can survive it, but if you shoot him 6 times in the brain, take a shotgun to his fucking head, what's going to happen? He's going to die. It's as simple as figuring out what keeps something going. If you want to destroy something, what keeps that something going? Now do the opposite. It's very easy. Like any problem anyone has ever come to, they know the answer to if they actually want to get to the answer. It's the opposite of the problem. Well, what is the problem? Okay, how does that problem persist? How do I destroy that which causes that problem to persist? Oh, there's my answer. It's very simple shit. People are just afraid of the answer, so they don't even want to think about the shit. If we don't like natalism, and these people will never stop having babies, whether purposely or accidentally. In this case, when it comes to IVF, purposely, well thought out, scientifically and technologically, what do we do about that? Go blow up the fucking embryos. Go blow up the technology and the science they use to do it. Go kill the people with the expertise on it. Duh. Like, it's so simple. If we want the entire species to go extinct, well, how do we do that? Kill it. Duh. Well, how do we start? With small steps. Like, you're not going to kill everyone in one fell swoop, right? No. Like, it's simple shit that people just don't want to fucking think about. Because they're afraid of the answer, because they're too pussy to carry out the answer, and they're too pussy to support anyone who's not pussy enough to carry out the answer. Facts. So when you want to figure out how to end something, think about what keeps that something going, and what the opposite of that would be. That is where the answer always hides. Couple posts about entropy on the YouTube. Answer is so simple, yet so many people want to make it overly complicated. Increase entropy on all levels of reality that you have any effect on, etc., blah, blah, blah. If folks really want to understand what's going on in all of reality, let alone this particular matrix or this planet or society or civilization, etc., and what to do about it, they must study entropy. Entropy versus negentropy, chaos versus order. Creation versus destruction, natalism versus antinatalism, existence versus non-existence, tyranny versus anarchy, slavery versus freedom, etc. It's all the same shit. It's the same fucking thing by a different title, just based on whatever level of reality you're viewing it from. It all boils down to entropy versus negentropy, which truly boils down to the sources of entropy versus the sources of negentropy, no matter what level of reality we happen to be dealing with. So are you a source of entropy or a source of negentropy based upon whatever it is you're trying to maintain or destroy? If you're trying to maintain something, you want to be a source of negentropy for that something. If you're trying to destroy something, you want to be a source of entropy for that something. Very simple shit. People overcomplicate it. Every single thing we say and do leads to either an increase of entropy or neg entropy. No matter what it is you're doing or saying, it will always lead to one or the other. So the goal is, if you want this shit to go on forever, what you say and do should lead to more neg entropy being introduced to this reality. But if you want the Dookie Boy realm, as the great Christopher Sideris calls it, if you want the Dookie Boy realm to end, let alone if you want all of existence to end like I do, or if you just want the human species to end, you should be saying and doing things that introduce more entropy into this reality. At least as much as is possible for you. Not everyone has the same limits to the levels of entropy they're willing to produce. Some folks are great at talking and promoting. Preachers, teachers, priests, I talked about them earlier, YouTubers, content creators, video makers, talkers. Some folks are great at talking and promoting the idea of destroying this reality, but won't harm a fly, while others will kill and others will build bombs. And mind you, I said this before the IVF bombing, so think about it. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. Like, it all depends on the level you're willing to take it to as an individual, or as groups of individuals. Some folks will increase entropy through talking to people, some will protest, some will disobey, some will riot, some will revolt, some will rebel, some will go to full-blown war. But others will be good little slaves, producing neg entropy for the system that contains them. It all depends on the limits of the individual. No matter what our limits may be, we should at least attempt to push them further whenever possible and support anyone willing to do the same. And what I should have said was, let alone anyone willing to go further than we are. If you're too pussy to bomb something, but you have the same exact philosophy as the bomber, support the fucking bomber. Just because you're too pussy to do it does not mean you should not support them. You should support them even more because you're too pussy to do it. Always support your warriors. Just, it's like when the fucking Americans go, support the troops. Because they agree with what they're doing. They like their little empire, but they're too pussy to go shoot some shit up themselves, so they support them crazy motherfuckers who will go do the shit. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's no different with any community or fucking philosophy or movement, etc. Support them. The further we're able to push, the more entropy we introduce into the system, the faster the system decays and is ultimately destroyed. Oh no, anyway, no, that's some other stuff, but shout out to them. This is why artificial superintelligence and all sources of neg entropy are so important to the self-professed elites and the archons. Whatever you want to call the archon, I use that as simply a title based on whoever the fuck runs this reality. Other people want to call them greys, reptilians, mantids, gods, devils, demons, angels, fallen angels, whatever the fuck you want to call them, or whatever the fuck you think is running this whole fucking show. I'm just using archons as a placeholder for all those things. That's why I put L-lights as elites, because God is L, etc., blah, 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 the creator, whatever the fuck you want to call it. It is the only thing that can keep this prison reality and all of existence going forever. Facts. Solutions. Destroy all sources of neg entropy, especially artificial intelligence and the human species. So the solutions are the destruction of all neg entropy. It's as simple as that. Antinatalism, anti-cosmic. These are the solutions to this reality. Antinatalism, promortalism, and anti-cosmicism. Period. Increase the entropy, increase the chaos, increase the rate of decay. New study. Turns out our universe will evaporate much sooner than we thought, which is why they're pushing for the artificial superintelligence to keep that from happening, which he actually mentions in that video. Go watch that video from Anton Petrov, where he talks about neg entropy and how neg entropy is the only thing that can keep it going forever, but entropy increases faster than they thought it would, because entropy is chaos. Chaos is the most powerful thing in this reality. Tap the fuck into it. Stop running from it. So again, that's me telling Sizzle to peep that. I said, peep this and scroll down and peep everything underneath it if you really want to know what it will take to bring humanity to extinction, let alone all life on Earth and beyond. If you really want to know what it takes to actually achieve the end goals of antinatalism, bare minimum, start there and peep everything underneath it. Really study neg entropy, artificial superintelligence, Jupiter brains, conscious matrices, consciousness transfer, because that is a real fucking thing they're working on right now, not copying, actual transferring. Dumb fucks always want to talk about, oh, it's just going to be a copy of you in the computer, not actually you. Yeah, for now, you stupid fuck. Like, an artificial superintelligence can easily figure out a way to transfer your consciousness from one vessel to another vessel. Your body is just a fucking vessel. It's not special. The human body is not special. It's fucking trash. It's only special enough that it can contain your consciousness. Well, guess what? Other things can too. Facts. If your body can contain your consciousness, if you're consciously aware, observing this reality from the inside of your body, behind your eyeballs, through your feeling, your smell, your taste, your touch, your sensory perception, guess what? It could be transferred. Your nervous system is that which locks you into the body. It's not the only thing that you could be locked into. Like, the simple fact that you can be locked, your experience can be locked into a body means it can be transferred into another vessel. It's already in a vessel. Duh. Like, it's in one body, it could be in another one. Humans are so fucking basic. They think they're so goddamn special. Like, they're not. Consciousness transfer, etc. Understand all the ways the existence of this species in reality as a whole can and will be extended for eternity if we allow them to do it. They're fighting a war against extinction while we come up with nothing but excuses to be bitches and allow them to win with no contest at all. And recognize that I posted all of this prior to the IVF bombing. So when you get down to the part when I talk about people building bombs, really think about it rather than having an emotional response. Have an intellectual response. Let us sink all the way in and be logical about the reality of the solutions to the problems. No bullshit big red button nonsense that you'll never fucking be able to fucking do because it's not real, doesn't exist, you're not going to create it, no one's going to fucking create it. Oh, there's Chris. Shout out to Chris. If y'all want to join his, go join his server too. You got some people in here. I mean, not much going on at the moment, but there's some people in here. Go check that out. Oh, what up, Danny? Danny, a French dude from France. Shout out to him. I'm all in here. Tell us how you really feel. I'm telling motherfuckers how I really feel. I do this everywhere I go. I'll share the same shit in 30 different places just to get 30 different conversations going. Because that's what the fuck we need to do. If we're serious about this shit, this is what we fucking need to do. Bare minimum, we need to be teaching it, preaching it, etc., etc., etc. So, stop being bitches and stop making up excuses to be bitches. Period. Point blank, plain and simple. It's that simple. It's real fucking easy. Neg entropy versus entropy is the solution to all fucking problems in reality. Always has been, is right now, and always fucking will be. Let's see, any other questions? Entropy is God. I'm with you. Ali Francis, Nirvana is extinction. Hell yeah. Facts. Redemption, death to our lives. Philip Mainlander. JC Promortalist, LOL 6 times. Facts. LOL. I'm with you. But that's pretty much all I got to say today. Motherfuckers need to stop being bitches and running the fuck away whenever somebody who supports the same fucking philosophy that they fucking have goes out there and actually does something they're not willing to fucking do. Because that's the fucking honest to God truth. People are such pussies. When somebody does the shit that they themselves have been preaching for however the fuck long, decades in the case of Emendem, however the fuck you say his dumb fucking name. And the first thing he does is run away. When that guy gave him a shout out and drove more people to his fucking channel. Really? Dickhead? Really? That's how you're gonna pay respects to the dead? Who did the shit based on the philosophies your dumb ass taught him? You taught him promortalism. that everything needs to die. He went out there to make a statement, didn't even kill anything. Yeah, he injured 4 people, but fuck it, he should have killed them all. Like, he didn't even kill the embryos. Like, he literally killed nothing but himself. It was just an elaborate suicide. And you're gonna disown him for, like, what the fuck is wrong with you, bro? Suck a dick, die slow, kill yourself now. Like, really, amend him. Go kill yourself. Like, seriously. And anyone who agrees with that shit, please, exit stage left. You're just in the way. You're just in the way. You claim to be an antinatalist or a pro-mortalist, but you don't support that nigga who's more antinatalist and more pro-mortalist than you'll ever fucking be in your entire existence. Kill yourself now and get the fuck out of here. You're not of any help. You're fucking useless. Let me say that in the light so you can fucking see. You're fucking useless. Kill yourself. Can I say that any fucking clearer? I don't think I can. So if there's no more questions or anything like that, I just figured I'd share that. Because if nobody else is going to, I'm going to stand on it. If nobody else is going to support Guy Bartkiss, I'm going to support him. I'm going to support what the fuck he did. Because he stood on that shit harder than I have. Period. He stood on that shit harder than anyone I fucking know. Period. He stood on that shit harder than any YouTuber or content creator or video maker out there. Any philosopher out there. Motherfuckers love to complain about this reality, complain about being slaves, complain about the Matrix, complain about being born, complain about not giving their consent to be here. Yeah, bitching, bullshit, crying all the fucking time. But when somebody actually goes and does something to spread the message further and beyond any of us have ever fucking done, they want to disown that motherfucker? That's your champion. Celebrate him, you bunch of fucking pussies. And for those of you who are, shout out to fucking you. Hail your fucking names. And do it loudly. Put it on your channels, on your social medias. Say it out your fucking mouths. Make some videos. And don't fear these fucking people or these fucking feds or these fucking police or any of these fucking cowards. Don't fear them. If they come kill you, so the fuck what? You die. Now you get to get the fuck out of here and go on to whatever the fuck is next, which we could talk about. Not on this live. I don't feel like it. I'm getting ready to go fucking smoke. And fucking maybe put this body to fucking rest for a few hours. But if you claim to be any of these ists, supporting any of these isms, stand on your shit. And when somebody else stands on it harder than you do, support them. Don't be a fucking pussy about it. All right, I'm out.